Thy testimonies are wonderful.
Thy testimonies are wonderful.
Therefore doth my soul keep them.
Therefore doth my soul keep them.
The entrance of thy words
The entrance of thy word
giveth light.
giveth light.
It giveth understanding unto the simple.
It giveth understanding to the simple.
I open my mouth
I open my mouth
and panted,
and panted,
for I long for thy commandments.
for I long for thy commandments.
Look thou upon me,
Look thou upon me,
and be merciful unto me,
and be merciful unto me,
as thou usest to do unto those
as thou usest to do unto those
that love thy name.
that love thy name.
Order my steps in thy word,
Order thy steps in thy word,
and let not any iniquity have dominion over me.
and let not any iniquity have dominion over me.
Deliver me from the oppression of man.
Deliver me from the oppression of man.
So will I keep thy precepts.
So will I keep thy precepts.
Make thy face to shine upon thy servant,
Make thy face to shine upon thy servant,
and teach me thy statutes.
and teach me thy statutes.
Rivers of water run down my eyes,
Rivers of waters run down my eyes,
because they keep not thy law.
because they keep not thy law.
Our scripture reading from Psalms chapter 119, verses 129 to 136. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading, hearing, and doing of this holy word. In Jesus' mighty name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Good
You can
afternoon.
sing.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the House of Jacob Bible Study class. My name is Brother Joel. I'll be your reader today. Today's teacher is Brother Abraham, and today's lesson is, the entrance of thy words giveth light. Light. And now I'll turn you over to Brother Abraham.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody here to the House of Jacob Bible Study class here in Detroit. It's always good to be here. How was your all week? Really?
Right. Yes,
Somebody
sir.
had a bad week in here. Nobody? That's good stuff then.
That's right.
So, without any further ado, I always like to say that. I used to hear that when I was little. Let's have two selections from the choir.
Amen.
It is said in the world today, I am blessed and highly favored.
But it's written,
Blessed are they that do his commandments,
amen,
that they may have right to the tree of life,
the tree of life,
to the tree of life,
to the tree of life, tree of life,
It is said in the world today,
today.
them old laws was down to the cross.
But it's written,
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. The whole duty of man. Man. It is said in the world today,
today.
I am saved, I am saved.
But it's written,
He that endures to the end shall be saved.
be saved,
When the righteous turn from their righteousness,
and committed iniquity,
and die and live with their iniquity, they shall burn. They shall burn. It is said in the world today,
today.
all you need is to just have faith.
But it's written,
Obey man, faith without works is dead.
is dead.
I will show you my faith by my words, faith by my words, faith by my words, faith by my words. It is said in the world today,
Today.
serve God your way and I'll serve God my way.
But it's written,
And wipe on me, Lord, and do not the things I say, but be doers of the word. and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. Deceiving your own selves, own selves.
It is written,
That at the name of Jesus, every knee shall bow, that every tongue shall confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. To the glory of God, the Father of us all, the Lord without your own salvation, with fear and trembling, with fear and trembling, trembling.
it is written,
And behold, I come quickly, and my Lord is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. But as it is written, I have not seen, nor ear have heard, the things which God hath prepared for them that love Him, It is written, that my word shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please. Amen. 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 Praise ye the Lord. Praise ye the name of the Lord. Praise ye the Holy Father. Praise ye the Holy Father. In Jesus' name, amen. Praise ye the Lord. Praise His holy name. All ye servants of the Lord, amen. All ye that stand in the house of the Lord, praise Him, praise Him. I know that the Lord is great, amen, and that our God is above all gods. Just trust in the Lord God with your whole heart. Lean not to your own understanding, for I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my laws. Keep my commandments and live. If you be obedient to His holy word and endure to the end, salvation is your reward. That's eternal life. Blessed are they that do His commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life and enter into the city. Remember, Jesus taught about the sower and the seed. What type of ground will you be? Do you know? 'Cause some seed fell by the wayside, and some seed in the stony place, and some seed fell among thorns. But the seed that fell on good ground are they that hear God's word and understand it, and bear fruit some 100-fold, and some bear fruit 60-fold. Bear fruit meet for repentance.
Oh, give thanks unto the Lord. Call upon His name. Make known His deeds among the people. Sing unto Him. Sing psalms unto Him. Talk ye of all His wondrous works. Glory ye in His holy name. Let the heart of them rejoice that seek the Lord. Seek the Lord and His strength. Seek His face evermore.
Praise ye the Lord. Praise ye the name of the Lord. Praise ye the Holy Father. Praise ye the Holy Father. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
Amen.
everybody here on the Sabbath day. What's the word of God for?
Instruction, reproof.
All of that, right? Right?
Yes, sir.
It's for all of that, right? What is knowledge for? What is knowledge for?
Understanding and
Just to get some input, right? That's what knowledge is for. Knowledge. Everybody get knowledge. Get some knowledge. Get some knowledge. Get some knowledge, man. You got to get some knowledge.
Amen.
I think we got that. But like I told a couple other classes, you don't want to be a class that the outside is called the House of Jacob Bible Study class, so you come in, right? But you don't want it to look like, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? You don't want to look like that.
right.
Only the people can make it look like that. See? Only the people can make it look like that. We have to police ourselves.
Right.
Not so worried about policing. Hey, Chris, made it up here. Yay. Right on. That's Chris. Ask him to talk on the mic. Oh my gosh. How's your wife? I gotta get the word out of you. Come on. How's your wife? All right. See, that's not his voice. His voice is like thunderous.
Yeah.
So listen. Out of all I getting, right? So what's the title of the lesson? The entrance of thy words give it light, right?
Right.
The entrance of that. Hopefully, because what's light? What's light? What do he mean when he say that? When King David said that, he said the entrance of the Lord's words give it light. He knows that. But when you're talking to the people, you just got to let them know that the entrance of God's word should give light. It don't all the time. Because everybody's on a different keel. Got all kind of minds going.
Right.
Everybody going through their thing during the week.
That's right.
It can be rough, but the word of God is smooth.
Amen.
It really is. So the Lord drops down when he came in the flesh. And he started talking to the people in parables. Because they couldn't understand if him and the Father sitting there talking, what the heck are they talking about? Now I hear what they're saying, but it's not making sense. Some of it, yeah, thou shalt not, right? Thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not kill. All of those things, right? You can understand that. If you don't have skill in teaching this word, man, you just hanging the people out to dry.
That's right.
The people that are sitting out there.
That's right.
I see everybody's face when I'm here. Right?
Right.
And you make a statement and they like, did he just say that? Right? You see all of that. It's okay. It's okay. What? They give me 2.5 hours maybe to get everything I can get in. I can't get everything in. I say, hey, if you got something that you think I said, come on. Let's talk.
Right.
Let's talk. Right? Let's talk. You don't hear everything I got written down on this paper. You don't. Look, from last night. Just from last night. Here we go. Just from last night. I said, you know what? I'm going to figure out what I'm going to deal with. So I asked the Lord. Hold on, I got one stuck. This is necessary.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
This is necessary, right?
Yes, sir.
So I said, you know what? Every year around this time, I decide, I go back and I read the Bible over. I give myself 40 days. right? And I relaxed. I shut down. I totally shut down. Don't ask me to go to the store. Don't ask me to do nothing. I get up and I wind up going to the store anyway. So, February 14th, I started the Bible. So last night I ended up in Malachi, and I finished with Malachi. That's 20 days. When you read the Bible like that, and I'm not talking about the word of the Lord came to me again, saying, what mean ye that you use this proverb concerning the land of Israel, saying to the fathers, eat sour grapes and children? I said, no. When you done read this like for 40 years, 41 years now, the words roll off the page to you. So you can start reading more and with more understanding. And then all that time period from Genesis to Malachi just sticks in your mind. It's like, man, it's just all there. Yeah. Because you done read like 39 books in a few days, and you get up and you eat. You go to sleep, you can't sleep because you want to get up and read more, right? 2 o'clock in the morning, sitting there, can't wait to get here. No sleep after that. Didn't touch the Bible. I said, I'm not going to start Matthews. I'm not. So I set up Thursday, and I said, okay, this is what I deal with. Because the Lord showed me what to deal with. He said, deal with the entrance of my words. If you don't have skill and understanding, because that's what light is. The light is understanding. If you don't have skill, man, the people, they think you be saying something that you're not saying, because their ears are not trained to hear certain things. It's just not. The Lord said, blessed are your ears, for they do hear. And blessed are your eyes, for they do see. And he's not talking physical. He's talking all spiritual. See? So he said, get the mote out of your own eye before you try to get the mote out of somebody else. That's the key. Straighten up your house. But if you see your brother or your sister doing something, just pull them off to the side. I've been telling you all that for, 11 years now. I don't know how long we've been here. I don't. See. Because it's reproof and instructions, and I say I will not do that today. Because this is a happy day.
Amen.
Right? Then I said, you know what? We just let the word flow and see how this thing go. So let's go to 1 Peter. And we're going to move quickly with these few scriptures because I wanted to stick in your mind. 1 Peter chapter 4. Verse 17. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. Let them get there. And you all going to have 5 fingers. I hope you did some exercises with your fingers. Stretch them out. COVID is going away, right? It's fading away, right?
That's right.
It's fading away. And we're getting ready for the next one, right? The next one is coming. Oh boy, it just don't get no better. Wait till we get to the wars and rumors of wars. We already got rumors and we got wars. It's not even close. The nations are busy. The nations are busy, man. I'm telling you, the nations are busy. 1 Peter 4 and 17. Go ahead.
For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God.
Uh-huh.
And if it first began at us.
At us. It said the house of God. But then it turned around and pointed the finger to us, right? Go ahead.
what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God?
Verse 9.
Use hospitality one to another without grudging.
He said use hospitality.
Right.
You all know about that?
Right.
When you go out to the restaurants, right? You're supposed to get that here from each other. Hospitality. James stand at the door. He greet the people. Hopefully he didn't have a bad night. He can't have a bad night in that position.
Right.
You cannot, listen, you cannot have a bad night and come here and, hey, welcome. Oh, man, I don't even like this guy.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You cannot do it like that. Everybody that's got a spot somewhere got to show hospitality.
That's right.
I really mean that. None of these words are vain words today.
That's right.
Go ahead.
As every man have received the gift, even so minister the same one to another.
You hear what I'm saying? What's the gift that the Lord then gave you? The what? Him dying on the cross? Shedding his blood? It is a gift.
That's right.
That's just one of the gifts. We ain't even talking about the benefits in the kingdom. Go ahead.
As good stewards of the manifold grace of God.
As good stewards, that's what we are. Go ahead.
If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God.
Let him speak as the oracles of God. The Old Testament scriptures reveal that God, who created the universe, they told also of his perfect holiness, his perfect justice, his perfect love and mercy. I wrote these down, so I gotta get this in.
Right.
And absolute sovereignty. That is what the oracles of God is. It's a guide, a standard. It's a standard of all true worshipers. It's a standard. Now, Jesus, who is the Christ, has come and has fulfilled not all, but some of God's salvation plan. Finish reading.
If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which God giveth.
Stay in your lane.
That's right.
If you don't know what this is talking about, listen, you can't sit here in a few years and think you can go out there. Just stay in your lane. Whatever you can teach, teach.
Right.
It's so many smooth ways for people to come up to you and ask you about something that you don't know. How do you get out of that? How do you get out of that? I'm only talking like that because pride kind of sets in. Somebody come to you and you don't know how to get, I can't answer that. So instead of saying, man, I don't got that one down yet. I'll get back to you. That's all you got to say.
That's right.
I'll get back to you. Oh, let me call somebody up if you need that answered right now. Right? I got 2.5 hours. James is not going to let me off the hook. I hope he don't mind me using his name. See? Because I love James. I do. I really do. What else? We got any more right there?
Yes.
Go ahead.
That God in all things may be glorified through Jesus Christ.
That the Father in all things might be glorified in Jesus Christ. Do it say Father right there?
Say God.
It just say God. Do you know that's the Father? He just said?
Yes.
Some know, some of it just went right past you. Go ahead.
To whom be praised and dominion forever and ever. Amen.
James, turn right back toward James, one book I think. James chapter 4. James 4. James 4. Pick it up at verse 10. Go ahead.
Humble yourself in the sight of the Lord.
Yeah, that's who you standing in front of. You got to remember that. You won't curse your boss out. Or your brother. Or your sister. Go ahead.
And he shall lift you up.
And he shall lift you up.
Speak not evil one of another, brethren.
Oh, wow. Go ahead.
He that speaketh evil of his brother, and judges his brother, speaketh evil of the law,
Yeah, you do.
and judges the law.
Go ahead.
But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge.
I hope that's sinking down in your head. That's got to sink down in your mind, man. Go ahead.
There is one lawgiver,
There's one lawgiver. Go ahead.
who is able to save and destroy.
Listen, you have no power as of yet right now. You do have a little. Let me take that back. See. But go ahead.
Who art thou that judges another?
Who art thou that judgest another? Now, I'm not saying you cannot be judges. Because you got to judge.
That's right.
You got to judge. That's what you're sitting here to become. All those that's coming up in the first resurrection are going to be judges. Those are the saints. The ones that come up in the second resurrection, they are not the saints. They just made it into everlasting life.
Right.
There are levels to this stuff.
That's right.
There are levels. See, no, you're not going to have the same seat that Moses has in the kingdom. No, you're not. Get that out of your head.
Right.
King David is going to be king, and that's it.
Yeah.
See? Verse 6.
But he giveth more grace.
He gives more grace.
Wherefore he saith, God resisteth the proud.
Yeah, he do. I'm saying, if you prideful, ungodly prideful. Go ahead.
But God giveth grace unto the humble.
Yeah, he do. Man, what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
You got to learn that now.
That's right.
You got to learn that now. See, you really do. James 3, pick it up at verse 13. Go ahead.
Who is a wise man and endureth with knowledge among you?
Wait a minute. Who is a wise man in here that's endured or endowed with knowledge among you? Go ahead. That's how you find this out. Go ahead.
Let him show out of a good conversation
Yes.
his works with meekness of wisdom.
Now, if you don't know how to do that, you got to ask somebody, man, I'm a little rough, so, you know. Go ahead.
But if ye have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth.
Oh, I'm telling you, you're crossing the lines like that. You're crossing the lines. See, you cannot sit here and don't get better.
Right.
There's nobody here lying to you.
Right.
There's nobody here lying to you. See, this is serious stuff. Every day, this is how you live the word of God. That's where the Lord say the just shall live by faith. I'm telling you, this is supposed to be a work in progress. You're a work in progress. I am a work in progress.
That's right.
40 years.
That's right.
I'm a work in progress, right? But don't think for a minute with a proudful heart, man. You know, me and you the same. That's what this brother told me. We was at the feast. He said, man, you know, because he couldn't answer what adultery meant. He said, man, the Lord said, you know, babes in Christ, and you're a babe in Christ too still, right? I said, I don't know. I don't know if I'm a babe. I do know. I know whether I'm a babe in Christ. I can eat a steak. I can do the 2,300 days. I can do the 70 weeks of Daniel. I can do the 2 mountains of brass. I can break down Revelation, all the vials of wrath, the trumpets. I can. I'm not trying to show off. This is between me and somebody else. And two. See. Go ahead.
This wisdom descended not from above.
Look, he said, but if ye have bitter envy and strife in your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth. This wisdom descended not from above, but what?
But it's earthly,
It's earthly.
sensual,
It's sensual
devilish.
and devilish. Let that sink in. Go ahead.
For where envy and strife is,
Yeah.
there is confusion and every evil work.
Wow. Wow. That's why you don't want this place to look like, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? And the people keep leaving up out here. And the turnover rate is bigger than Walmart.
Right. Right.
Ain't nobody here. What's up with the love?
That's right.
What's up with the feeling, man?
That's right.
See, go ahead.
But the wisdom that is from above
Yep.
is first pure,
First pure.
then peaceable,
That's how you're supposed to be acting with each other. Go ahead.
gentle,
Oh man, just throw that one out the window. We can't do gentle. Not today. Right? No, man. The Lord means that. Gentle. Go ahead.
and easy to be entreated,
Easy to be entreated. Go ahead.
full of mercy.
Yeah. Where all this stuff come from? Is that in here? Yes, it is. Don't say no. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You just got to find out where to bring it from. You know. You know. Go ahead.
And good fruits,
And good fruits. What are good fruits? Long suffering, gentleness, temperance, kindness,
Right.
brotherly love. Go ahead.
without partiality,
Without partiality, don't come up and shake my hand, man. Hey, man, how you feel, man? Man, that dude, man, he just think he know it all. You ain't never got that from me. Go ahead.
and without hypocrisy.
Yep. Yep. Kissing a brother with a holy kiss, but you doing like this to the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the centurions. You say, come and get them like they did with Jesus, like Judas did. Kissed them, but it was with hypocrisy.
Right.
Go ahead.
And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace
And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace.
of them that make peace.
Can you do that? Do that. You got to do that. You got to do that. This is the gospel of Jesus Christ. 2 Timothy chapter 2. Let's turn back a couple of books. 2 Timothy chapter 2. And we're almost through with this one. 2 Timothy chapter 2. Pick it up at verse 20. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 20. Go ahead.
But in a great house there are not only vessels of gold and of silver, but also of wood and of earth.
Hey, which one are you? Which one are you? Which one are you? Can you pass through the fire? I'm talking about the word of God. Can you pass through the fire and be sustained? Go ahead.
And some to honor and some to dishonor.
Yeah, it is. Go ahead.
If a man therefore purge himself,
If you purge yourself, look at your own self in the mirror. You might not look too good a day that you get up. But wipe the stuff out your eyes and really look at yourself and purge yourself. I say it all the time. Get a piece of paper. Draw a line down the middle, write pros and cons. What I'm good for and what I'm not good for. And when you finally check off the things that you might not be good for, and when you really look at it, you might not be too far from perfectness. You might be closer to God than you think. Go ahead.
if a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor,
Yes,
sanctified,
set apart
and meet for the master's
and
use,
meet for the master's use. Go ahead.
and prepared unto every good work.
Listen, every good work, you prepared. Just think about Christ, the things he suffered. the entrance of thy words giveth light. Psalms 119. We can get off into the lesson. I hope that helps somebody. I hope that helps somebody.
Help me.
This is not yours. This word. The Lord just gave it to us. He gave it to us free. He said, buy the word and sell it not.
That's right.
Freely you have received, freely give.
That's right.
Psalms 119 and 130. Go ahead.
The entrance of thy words giveth light. It giveth understanding unto the simple.
That's it. It giveth understanding to the simple. Don't take that as a derogatory comment. That just means you don't know.
That's right.
That's all. Genesis chapter 1. The Lord said the entrance, just take that slow. The entrance of his word giveth light. Pick it up in Genesis 1, chapter 1. Go ahead.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void.
Now listen, you can't get no in the beginning than this. This is the farthest we can go within the beginning. It's something before you get to Genesis chapter 1. It is. But this is what he wrote down for us to know that he gave Moses to write down. This is what Moses wrote. Go ahead.
And darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water.
Now here's the Spirit of God, and it's moving upon the face of the earth. Now, what is the Spirit of God? Or the Spirit from God? What is a spirit? You got that right. You got an angel. What else?
Breath.
Yeah, the Spirit. All these are from God. What else?
Words.
Huh?
Words.
Power.
Well, yeah, that's going to all be rolled into one. Go, give me another one.
God's mind.
All that's rolled into one. Right? 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 If you write word down, you're talking about these two. So, I mean, you can cancel this out. I know what you mean. But that's good to write the word. His word. His word, because we got some words that just don't fit. Right? So look at it. Here we go. He's going to let you know what he's talking about right here. Remember the title of the lesson. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Go ahead.
And God said.
And God said. What do said mean? He gave word. Go ahead.
Let there be light. And there was light.
You can't get no more plainer than that.
Right.
That's when his word came in. This is the first day. What none created in this day. All them other days, except the Sabbath day. He rested on the Sabbath day, but the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, he created things. The first day he didn't. Did it say he created? No. He just said, God said, let there be light. Go ahead.
And God saw the light, that it was good.
His word, his commandments, his statutes, his judgment, this is light. That's what he's talking about. I got a lesson, it can just show you and it be so plain. It's not, they don't have nothing to do with this type of light or the sun or the moon. That's further down in this chapter. That's in the 4th day. That's great lights. One to rule the day and lesser light to rule the night. But this light, this is him himself. All his countenance. Why? Because when he started to do Adam's creation, it was somebody already here. Can't nobody say that God didn't give him a chance. Because after he got to the 6th day, he started doing Adam, his wife, but it was somebody else here in the garden. He had to have the word first here. It must be his first. That's why this one created. He said, let there be light. And there was light. And he saw the light, that it was good. Yeah, it was. Perfect in every way. Go ahead.
And God divided the light.
And from that day, he divided the light from the darkness. Right? Go ahead.
From the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night.
Yeah. Hey, don't be in the dark. Go ahead.
And the evening and the morning were the first day.
2 Corinthians chapter 4. Second Corinthians chapter 4. Don't forget what you just read. You got to keep all this right here. Just keep it right here. 2 Corinthians chapter 4. I'm doing this for a reason. This is not even a lesson. This is just a prelude to the lesson. I wonder what the lesson is about. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, pick it up at verse, you can always remember this. Where did he go with that? 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 5, 6, 7. Go ahead.
For we preach not ourselves, but Christ Jesus
2
the Lord.
Corinthians, that's good though.
Second-
2 Corinthians chapter 4.
Yes.
Hold on, yeah, all right, go ahead.
For we preach not ourselves, but Christ Jesus the Lord.
That's right.
And ourselves your servants for Jesus' sake.
Go ahead.
For God, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness.
Wait a minute, when did he do that? When did he command the light to shine out of the darkness? Here in Peter? But no, he did that at the beginning. He said, let there be light. And there was light. Go ahead. But look, let's see what it is. Let's see what this light is that he commanded. Go ahead.
Have shined in our hearts.
This same light has shined in our hearts. Go ahead.
To give light of the knowledge of the glory of God.
You can't beat that. Go ahead.
In the face of Jesus Christ.
Go ahead.
But we have this treasure.
This is a treasure. Go ahead.
In earthen
vessels. In our vessels.
Yes.
In our earthen vessels. And the Lord passed it on to us. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
In Jesus' name. Go ahead.
That the excellency of the power may be of God and not of us.
You gotta remember that. So, let's get off into the lesson. What is the lesson about? So, here's a man walking down the street, straight, homeless. There's no doubt in your mind. There's no doubt in your mind that he's homeless. And he needs something. Are you going to help him? If you got it?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, absolutely. Wait a minute. I forgot to tell you it was on the Sabbath day.
Yeah, definitely.
I can help him on the Sabbath day?
Well, on the Sabbath.
All right. I got to get back to Chicago. When I leave up out of here, because some people are going to kick me up out of here at a certain time. I'm going to run out of gas. Can I get gas on a Sabbath day?
Yes, sir.
I can?
Yes, sir.
If I want to go home, I might not want to go home. That ain't got nothing to do with you. Are we reasonable so far with the Sabbath day?
Yes.
I'm walking down the lakefront on the Sabbath day. I just happen to live on the lakefront. And I'm on my way to the class, but I'm walking down the lakefront. It's not my fault, because that beautiful lake is sitting there. It's just breezy and beautiful. Can I walk down that lakefront on a Sabbath day? Uh-oh, huh?
Yeah.
Can I? Why can't I? Can I? Right? That's a Sabbath day. I can walk down there. All right? All right? Just came from a funeral on a Sabbath day. What am I doing there on a Sabbath day? Well, I didn't go in with the dead body, but it was visitation Friday night. Am I unclean?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm unclean? Am I?
Been around dead bodies.
I'm shaking your understanding. Am I unclean?
Been around dead bodies.
I am unclean.
Only if you touch somebody was unclean.
When you touch the body, you are unclean.
Yes.
If I'm in the house where all dead bodies are, am I unclean?
Yes.
I'm unclean.
Yes.
Yes. Can I go home on a Sabbath day? What is the law that says that I will be clean? What do I have to do? What if I touch the body?
You got a quarantine.
Please don't bring that up. I'm playing. Y'all haven't heard that word enough. All right. I know, right? So we got to quarantine. That ain't what the Lord say do. Tell me what the Lord say do that you don't steer the people wrong. Huh? Watch yourself.
And your clothes.
Wash yourself on that day. Let's say it right. You must wash yourself on that day. It just happened to be what day? The Sabbath day. I turned on hot water to wash myself. Can I wash myself on the Sabbath day because the water is hot?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the Sabbath day, the water's hot. The pilot is lit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can I wash myself?
Yeah.
Ooh. Say that again.
If you don't, you have to quarantine.
I know, right? Say it again. Somebody said something.
I hope you did this morning.
Yeah, I know, right? But what if somebody get in my ear? Abraham, man, you ain't got no business taking no hot shower on the Sabbath day. Why you washing on the Sabbath day? I don't even turn on my faucet because it's the Sabbath day, Abraham. He said, oh, all right, so finish out with me. How do I become clean from the dead body? I wash myself on the first day. That's the only way I'm going to be clean to the Lord. Mm-hmm. What trumps what? Do his word trump what you talking about? Yeah. Absolutely. What else I need to do to be clean from dead body? What's the next step?
Wash your clothes.
Huh? No.
Always
You can. That's a good thing too.
stay away.
Because anything defiled is defiled. Right? Mm-hmm. What's the next step? On the third day, you got to wash yourself. Oh, so everybody who called itself doing what they was doing forgot that step. Nobody never did that on the third day? It's just sitting there. Yeah, some people do. Because it's sitting there in big writings. In the same one you read about washing yourself in the evening. Then, what's the next step? Wash yourself on the seventh day.
Yeah, before evening.
before eating it, and then you are clean, and on the 8th day you are clean. That's concerning defilement, pollution, and dead bodies. Remember, that's what you're supposed to do. So everybody that didn't do that is still dirty. Well, that's where Jesus steps in. Why? Because you are simple to that issue. But he got your back. So now that you know, you don't have to go about being presumptuously ignorant of a thing and just, I'm going to do it anyway, willful sinning. Let's do another one. Here's a good one. A real good one. Abraham, I go downstairs and I turn off the heater for my hot water. Okay, that's you. That's you. Why you do that? Tell me that. And make it make sense. And if you don't want to make sense, just tell me why. Because the Lord said, don't kindle a fire on the Sabbath day. Did you buy this house? Yeah, I did. What month I thought you told me you bought this in December. I did. Was it toasty in here when they came and showed you? Yes. Wasn't the heater on? Did you go downstairs and turn off the hot water? No. Oh, so you just got righteous now. That's what happened. That's what happened with you. Okay. Do you watch TV? Abraham, you watch TV? Yes, I do. Watch my lips. Yes, I do. Oh, that is a pleasure. Oh, wow. I wonder where you get that from. The TV watching is a pleasure. Where it could be if I'm watching The Housewives of Atlanta. Right? Right? If I'm watching Coming to America, Part 2, the second. MSNBC, and they happen to tell you that on NBC that the Pope has just stood up in Jerusalem. Oh my gosh. Do I come and let you know that don't watch TV? No, I don't. No, I don't. If I'm changing the word, if I'm gonna look at TV, what is that doing? Watching TV? Isn't that watching TV? Yeah. Then the Lord tell me to watch and pray. Yeah. Am I stretching it to say I'm watching TV? I'm actually watching TV, man. What you doing, Abraham, tonight? I'm watching TV, man. I'm looking at these Edomites over here doing daily sacrifices. Didn't I just tell you that when I came in here earlier? Yeah, I watch TV on a Sabbath day. You ever seen Aerial America on Smithsonian? Aerial America. They give you a history on all the states, countries, and places. So I was watching it 2 Sabbaths ago, and they was doing the thing on the Sea of Galilee. Do the Sea of Galilee got anything to do with us? Yeah. Everything. Everything. Where did I go wrong then? If I was watching TV on the Sabbath day. Now, if I went to 806 PPV, and that's Debbie Does Dallas, that's for the old people that know Debbie Does Dallas. Is that wrong? You know that's wrong. You know that's wrong. Come on. Why?
It's your pleasure.
Is it your pleasure? It might be your pleasure. But is it the pleasure that the Lord is talking about? Yes, it is. What are you doing it for? Oh, just make it plainer than entertainment. Right? Right? Anything that's defile you and fall on the covers is defiled and polluted. Can you lay with your beautiful wife on the Sabbath day? You one flesh. The bed is not defiled. That's what the book say.
Right.
Why? But why? Explain that to a simple person.
You're not supposed to do anything for your own pleasure.
For your pleasure. For your pleasure. Laying with your wife, do it defile? Do it make you unclean?
Yes.
That's why you don't do it. Because it makes you unclean. You need to throw the word pleasure out for just a second. I know where you got that from. Did you read that in the first 5 books? It's not there. It's not there. I wonder why it's not there. See, the entrance of God's words giveth light, but you gotta have some skill and understanding.
That's right, brother.
See. And when you go around telling people, Abraham watched TV on the Sabbath day. I do. Because the Lord told me to watch and pray. Not because I had the TV on the Sabbath day on, and it just be on. Because if I turn my TV off, it's on a blink. And it take about an hour to come on all the way. I said, man, I don't need this TV no more. So I just left it off. But do I watch TV on the? Yes, I do. I look for stuff. I look at I Own Israel on the Sabbath day. It's a regular thing. Who's going to burn me in the fire? Would you be right to burn me in the fire? Would you be right to stone me? Because you know that was the penalty for defiling the Sabbath day. Would you throw stones at me? I don't care. I played dodgeball before. Right now I know how to run. Because I will pick one up and throw it back at you. Because I can go down in your little treasures and find something.
Yeah.
Right? See? But that's not defiling the Sabbath day. Sorry. It's not. See? Turning off all the light. What the light's doing on in here? There's a fillet in there, in them light bulbs. Why the light? You see where people going? They take straight the light of the Sabbath day, supposed to be the light straight out of the Sabbath day. And it ain't none but happening in these camps. That's Israel, to claim they're Israel. Shame on them. They take the reasoning that God gave to men right out. And I'm going to show you how you wrong. I wonder, should I be dealing with the Sabbath day today? But the title of the lesson is the entrance of that word. Anybody know this was about the Sabbath day? No. Right? Do we need to do with the Sabbath day? Yeah. Some understanding need to be gotten about the Sabbath day. I gotta go home. I gotta put gas in my tank. What did I do wrong? Give me the commandment I broke. I better yet, let me get myself in more trouble. Give me the statute of that commandment that I broke. Better yet, let me get myself in more trouble. Give me the ordinance of that statute that came from that commandment that I broke. And then turn around and give me the principality, and then give me the judgment that I got coming. Because where are the people that's breaking the Sabbath day, supposed to be breaking the Sabbath day? They supposed to be getting stoned. Who are the stoners? Where the stoners? Please, somebody tell me. That's the law written. You're supposed to be stoned for defiling the Sabbath day. Well, wait a minute. Anybody in here defiled the Sabbath day before?
Yeah.
Come on now. Raise your hand.
Yeah.
Everybody defiled the... Hey, bro. Have you defiled the Sabbath day before? Yeah, you have. I already know. I can look at you and tell. Everybody has defiled the Sabbath day. Why are we sitting here then? Everybody should have a lump on their head from a previous wound that they escaped from somebody stoning them. So the stoning is gone, right? The stoners are gone. Why? Because that was for a time period. You ain't getting that. That was for a time period. Is the Sabbath day still good? Yes, it is. But the Lord took the stoners out. Right? So how do we observe the Sabbath day? Let's see. Exodus chapter 20. We're going to move straight through this. This is going to be fun. I just want you all to be able to get to the scriptures fast. Is anybody sitting there and don't know where some of these books are? Get with somebody. Watch this. Remember, in these days, these people were so doggone hard-headed. So doggone hard-headed. Remember, they came up out of Egypt. 430 years being down in Egypt. The last person they realized that was connected to them was Jacob, their father. And his father was Isaac. And his father was Abraham. These people had not kept the law for 430 years. Then the Lord going to bring them out. Have Moses talk to them for a couple of years before he brought them out. Now these people had to get it together. They had to get it together or die out there. See? And you mean to tell me God's mercy wasn't there? Man, this is smooth right here. Exodus 20, pick it up at verse 8. Go ahead.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Keep it holy. We're going to find out what holy means. Go ahead.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
Okay, within your gates. Go ahead.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed.
What do hallowed it mean? What made it holy? And how do you make it holy? Huh? By not working? Your maid not working? Your manservant not working? Even a doggone cat, you better not see him playing too much. Right? That's what some of the unreasonable people do. Tie down the cat. I don't want you walking through it too much, you burden. Right? It's a burden to work on the Sabbath day to the Lord. Because he did, remember, on the 6th day, he had to finish with the grass, the cattle. He had to, you know how you be rushing on the Sabbath day to get things done? The Lord was getting it done. He had 2 more things to do on the 6th day. He had already had to lay down, him and the Father. First day, I just introduced myself. 2nd day, we do the firmament of heaven. The 3rd day, we do this, the grass and the 4th day, we do the sun and the moon. The 5th day, we do this, the whales and all that. The 6th day, we do the cattle that creep on the land. And man, he got it done. Woo, right in the nick of time. Sun go down, the Lord sitting there resting. That's what he did. Do God need rest? No, it was an example to point to you, what he was going to pass off to you, because he said, let this mind be in you that's in me. And the mind that Jesus had was the mind of the Father. Hey man, they laid everything out. Everything was laid out. Before Adam was created, everything. Do you know that the Day of Atonement was laid out before the creation was laid out? Do you know that? Why? What is atonement for? To atone for sin. Well, Adam hadn't sinned, but who had? The angels.
Yeah.
It was life going on. Spiritual life going on. House, kingdom, government, angels, good and bad, same on earth. See? Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. Just drop down a little lower for the suffering of death. That's what Jesus did. Drop down a little lower than the angels, spiritual body. So he just inhabited a flesh and blood body. Just for the suffering of death. From that time, he already knew. Him and the Father walked together. Hey, you know what this means? I do. I'll see you when you get back. And that's what happened. And the only reason why he left and got up to go back, because the earth got filthy. See? So you gotta keep things in perspective. Genesis chapter 1. Pick it up at verse 31. Go ahead.
And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good.
Uh-huh.
And the evening and the morning were the sixth day.
Go ahead. He said evening and the morning. I know some brothers think when the sun come up, that starts the day. No. They have no idea. I know they haven't read this book. And they haven't read this book with no understanding. If the sun come up and that starts the day, that throws everything that we read at the beginning out the window.
That's right.
He said in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and the sun was upon the face of the deep. No. He said darkness was upon the face of the deep. Everything that gets knowledge comes out of darkness into the light. Everything. Everything. It's no baby born on the outside of the womb. Right? It's not. These are the things they missing. There's no baby born on the outside of the womb. They born in the dark. Nobody here knew about Jesus and the Father. The only way we knew about the Father is because Jesus came and told us about his Father. He is the only prophet that can tell you about his Father.
That's right.
That's the only reason why we know about the Father.
Absolutely.
You stumbled into this knowledge. And you're going to stumble into some more, and some more, and some more. That means you coming out of the darkness into the light. Go ahead and read.
Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day.
Now he blessed the seventh day. He just called it the seventh day. Go ahead.
And sanctified it,
He sanctified it.
because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made.
All right, that's good. Exodus 31. Exodus 31. Here we go with these people. Here's some people that the Lord brought up out of the land of Egypt. Ransomed them off from Pharaoh. And how he ransomed them off? He killed their children. Because Pharaoh opened his mouth. See? And said, hey, you come here in front of me again, your people going to die. Hey, well, all right, that's cool too. We're going to see who's going to be the first one dead first. Matter of fact, we're going to take the firstborn of all Egypt, even the beast, the firstborn. The Lord went over the ones that was born after the first one. He killed the first ones in they cattle, in they cribs, in they pastures. The firstborn. Wonder how the angels knew that. You just can't read this and think, listen, to everybody, take reading seriously. You don't read this book like you're reading a social studies and a humanities book. I know you want to get through it, but you cannot do that. Not with this. This is not that. This is not that, I'm telling you. Look at this. I just got this probably like nine years ago or something. And you just feeling it, man. Yeah. Oh, that's the same. Yeah, that's a shorty. Oh, let me see something. That's a shorty, baby. Oh, you need this one. This got some good stuff in it.
The one I want right there.
Right. This is level 3. This is level 3, right? But you just need a teacher's Bible. You need a teacher's Bible. Everybody that's dealing with it, they need a teacher's Bible. Invest in it. Invest in it. Yeah. Whatever you do, be careful of the footnotes.
Yeah.
Be careful of the footnotes. Those are not the scriptures.
Right.
They do say some good things in there, but you got to be sharp in order to pick it up. So here we go. Exodus 31, this Sabbath day thing. Mm-hmm. I wonder, it's just something like you ask the Lord to lead and guide you and direct your steps. Right. So that means you don't have no steps. You don't have no guidance of your own. No. Because you asked the Lord to do that for you. Right. So how is it that we come all the way here and do we need this Sabbath day lesson? Yeah, we do. Mm-hmm. There's some issues going on in Detroit with the Sabbath day. Yeah, huh? Right. Uh-huh, it is. It is. You know why I know it is? Because we dealing with it. Right. The Lord He picks out the lessons. That's right. He really do. Right. He really do. Sorry. Oh, it's cool. You don't have to apologize for nothing, man. It's cool. Exodus 31, pick it up at verse 1. I think that's 1 home. Yeah, go ahead.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, See, I have called by name Bezalel, the son.
Hold on for a minute. Hold on. No, verse 12, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily my Sabbath ye shall keep.
Go ahead.
For it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am the Lord that does sanctify you. Ye shall keep the Sabbath therefore.
Not only is the Sabbath day sanctified, he sanctified you with it. Right. See, this is a day of refreshing. A day of refreshing. See, not only refreshing from your work and your labor ceasing, but the Lord come and refresh you and give you words of encouragement and reproof and instructions and righteousness. See, that's what the Sabbath day is for. Go ahead.
For it is holy unto you.
It's holy unto you. Let's see what he say. Go ahead.
Everyone that defileth it shall surely be put to death.
Whoa. Do he mean this?
Yes.
Yeah, he means that. Remember, this is a time period that he's dealing with. Don't throw that out the window. This is a time period. Go ahead.
For whosoever doeth any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among his people.
And he means this. But don't you throw mercy and truth out.
That's right.
Because we will all be dead sitting up in here.
That's right.
If we kept this like this.
Right.
And then you know he didn't mean this throughout all our generations because ain't nobody stoning nobody no more. Right. So what happened? Do he mean that? Yeah, he do. But you don't see where he added mercy in him.
That's right.
See? You don't, yeah, you got to factor a lot of stuff in here. Go ahead.
6 days may work be done.
This sounds like Genesis. Go ahead.
But in the 7th is the Sabbath of rest.
Go ahead.
Holy to the Lord.
It's holy to the Lord. Is it holy to us? Yes, it is. Go ahead.
Whosoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death.
Go ahead. Well, you know why he talking like this? Because these guys that he got out here in this wilderness, 650,000 people, they are bone straight up hard-headed.
Yeah.
That's right.
Their head is like adamant stone, the Lord said. See? He already know. He already looked into their hearts. He already know. He knew how Aaron was. He knew Aaron was going to fold up in front of all these men, talking about, hey, we be elders, and who gave you this?
That's right.
He already knew all of that.
That's right.
I tell him, Moses, anybody I catch working on the Sabbath day, stone them. See? And they better be clean themselves. They pick up the stone. Go ahead.
Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations for a perpetual covenant.
Go ahead.
It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and on the 7th day he rested and was refreshed.
Wait a minute. Did we see that in Genesis chapter 1? He rested and was refreshed? No, we didn't see that refreshed.
Not refreshed.
No, not that. See? Not that part. See? Not that part. It's more to the Sabbath day. It's a lot more. Do we see where Jesus is going to get 3.5 years left on his ministries to teach on the Sabbath day? You don't see that. Is that there? Yes, it is. Remember, the Sabbath day, when we come out of this 6th day and all these things that went on, you're coming into the Sabbath day of the Lord.
That's right.
The whole 1,000 years is the Sabbath day. Is anybody going to work?
Yeah.
Who's going to be stoned in that day? Nobody. Remember, when Jesus was rested, he on his Sabbath day that he created everything, he was still working. He just took a break. Wait a minute. Why weren't the Levites stoned? And how many days did they work?
7.
24/7.
Right.
What happened to them? Where's it written in the scriptures? Don't stone Levi. It's not written. I just got through reading all of this. Why? Because I wanted to catch it before somebody came with it. I already knew it, but I said, let me see if I missed something. So it took me 20 days to read this from Genesis to Matthew. I said, man, I'm going to catch something in here. And it wasn't that. Didn't stone none of the Levites. The Levites got their own self in trouble. Like Israel and Judah got themselves in trouble. See? What verse?
Verse 18.
Go ahead.
And he gave unto Moses,
Who gave unto Moses?
God,
He did. Go ahead.
when he had made an end of communing with him upon Mount Sinai, 2 tables of testimony, tables of stone, written with the finger of God.
Exodus 34, written with his own fingers. Yep. Written with his own fingers. 34 and 21. Go ahead.
6 days thou shalt work, but on the 7th day thou shalt rest. In earing time and in harvest thou shalt rest.
Hey, all year round. Earing time and harvest time. Thou shalt rest. Number 15. Check this out. Number 15. Check this out. This is some good stuff. You want to know about the Sabbath day? See, you can't come up in here and be in all Israel, beating people up because you're an Israelite. What else? What else we do? We talk against the stranger, the white man, our sister right here, our sister right here, right? Beating the hell out of them when the Lord broke down the middle walls of partition when Jesus came.
That's right.
He broke it down in the days of Abraham. He just didn't fulfill it into a certain time period with Paul and Peter and them.
That's right.
Those Noah's children too. Those Noah's children. Why are we beating up each other? I don't even understand that. Everybody got what they need to do. The Lord set that up. There's a lot of things the Lord set up that I don't know what's wrong with these brothers. They get up and they get this book, and I already know what's happening. Let me change it. I do know what's wrong. And I know what they I don't even know why that door is that little. Because their head grows so doggone big when they get a little knowledge. It seems, James, y'all need to start opening these these hatches up or something. Y'all need to start making these door openings big. Because the brothers had, wait a minute. What woman was a Levite that ministered in the tabernacle? All right, I'll tell y'all, none. What woman ministered as a Levite? Right? None. None. The Gentiles can teach. Sure they can. If they got some good understanding, I know they can. They can't come up in here and teach. They can't stand up here. Watch, I'm a condescend. What I mean, so Abraham's words are not misconstrued. The Lord commanded Israel that, listen, David said he never even wanted a man to sit on his throne. And they Israel. He excommunicated everybody. You know why? Because everybody is bad. He loved the Lord so much and he knew how high God was that he didn't even want flesh and blood to sit on his throne.
That's right.
And that's going to happen. And flesh and blood is not going to sit on the throne of David. It's going to be spiritual beings.
That's right.
See? But can a Gentile stand up over Israel and teach them? No, they cannot. That is not how the Lord said it must be done. Now, can they stand over their own people? Yes, they can. You can't do nothing about that. The Lord put the Gentiles in charge of this whole kingdom. Is that, sister, what nationality are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Italian.
Cool, that's cool. That's good stuff. What's yours? Huh? Chinese? That's cool. That's good stuff. See? Thank you. Oh, Israelite. Yeah. Now, some of y'all imposters. I can tell. No. But listen. The Lord set the children of Japheth, and he gave them the world to rule to his coming. You can't beat that. You just can't rule wrong. They had no business selling us to people for wine and for shoes and slavery and hanging us, and they had no business afflicting us more than the Lord said we should be afflicted.
Right.
But they did. So they in trouble for that. Well, why did they inflict us in the first place? Because we didn't do what the Lord say do. The Lord say beat them. He didn't say string us up. He didn't say call us niggas, spooks and jugaboos and all this stuff. He didn't say have your little baby children with the big ostrich feathers going around the white man on his plantation doing like this. Israel used to sit on the fans. They made them heavy enough for the children at a certain age to sit on the fan, and the fan go real slow. And while the people are eating, they just fan the people with the ostrich feathers. They had no business doing that. You can't do that. Because we can't come against them. Because if we come against them, then we talking revolt.
Right.
Black power. What the hell is black power? I know what they mean. Right? You can't do that. You can't revolt. Israel are rebellious and revolters. What is it going to get you? You ain't getting up out of this. You're not getting up out of this. Right? No, you ain't getting no 40 acres and a mule either.
That's right.
No. What is that going to do? That's going to run out. See? So we're in trouble. Everybody, all the sons of Adam are in trouble. See? And instead of lifting each other up, we just doing all kind of crazy stuff. Where we at?
Numbers 15.
Number 15. Here's some good stuff right here. Pick it up at verse 30. Go ahead.
Verse 30.
Verse 30. Number 15 and 30. Go ahead.
But the soul that doeth aught presumptuously,
All presumptuously, that's willful sinning. After that, I done told you don't do something, you just do it anyway. I done just told you. Why are you doing it? Go ahead.
whether he be born in the land or a stranger,
Or a stranger, go ahead.
the same reproacheth the Lord.
The same reproach the Lord. Go ahead.
And that soul shall be cut off from among his people,
That's good enough. No, keep on going. Keep on going.
because he hath despised the word of the Lord,
Right, because when you do something willfully, after the Lord has say don't do it, now you despising his word. Go ahead.
and hath broken his commandment. That soul shall utterly be cut off. His iniquity shall be upon him.
Yep, go ahead.
And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness,
Here we go. In the wilderness. Go ahead.
they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day.
Uh-huh.
And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron.
Because they already received their instructions what to do. But the Lord had mercy on the guy for a few more minutes because they didn't just want to start stoning him. Why is this dude picking up sticks on the Sabbath day? The Lord already told him a lot of things we haven't read. And we're going to back up and see that. Go ahead.
And unto all the congregation. And they put him in ward,
They put him in a prison. Go ahead.
because it was not declared what should be done to him.
They put him in a space where they can hold him. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Moses, the man shall be surely put to death.
Go ahead.
And all the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp. And all the congregation brought him without the camp,
Wow.
and stoned him with stones. And he died, as the Lord commanded Moses.
That's rough sentence. But he had it coming. He had it coming. Exodus 16. Exodus 16. Because it's just a thing that some of us are hard-headed. Exodus 16. Pick it up at, now this is before Exodus 20. That's Exodus 16. Pick it up at verse 16. Watch this. This is good stuff. You got to follow this. Go ahead.
This is the thing which the Lord hath commanded. Gather of it every man according to his eating.
Now he said, gather it every man according to his eating. Go ahead.
An omer for every man,
1 omer for every man. Go ahead.
according to the number of your persons. Take ye every man for them which are in the tent.
Now he said, whoever going to go out and pick up whatever you these omers, pick it up for every man in your tent. Go ahead.
And the children of Israel did so and gathered, some more, some
Now
less.
check this out. Here's where it started to get. Some gathered more, some gathered less. No matter how much you gathered, it was going to be enough, perfect, for whoever was in that tent. Go ahead. Lord's going to show you that.
And when they did meet it with an omer,
When they measured it out with an omer, go ahead.
he that gathered much had nothing over.
He that gathered much had nothing over. Remember that. Go ahead.
And he that gathered little had no lack.
The Lord's, by the grace of the Lord, he knew just how much they thought they going out there picking up whatever they want to.
Right.
Where this cat get? Look at all that stuff he got. No. He had just enough, and he had just enough. Go ahead.
They gathered every man according to his eating.
Go ahead.
And Moses said, let no man leave of it till the morning.
Listen, don't leave none of it until the morning. That dude you see with all of that, he got just enough to feed his family. Don't lay it up saying, oh, well, I'm going to just save some, you know. No. He said, don't leave it till the morning. Go ahead.
Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses, but some of them left it until the morning, and it bred worms and stank. And Moses was wroth with
No,
them.
don't come out your tent because it's stinking up in there. I already know why it's stinking. You got the stuff I told you to eat. This is a prelude to the Sabbath day.
Yes, sir.
He didn't even tell them about the Sabbath day. He tried to get them to see, do what I say. And then I'll lead you into the reason why I told you to do it this way. Go ahead.
And they gathered it every morning,
Every morning,
every man according to his eating.
according to his eating.
And when the sun waxed hot, it melted.
It melted. Go ahead.
And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man.
Go ahead.
And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses.
Listen, why are they gathering 2 on the 6th day? Go ahead.
And he said unto them, This is that which the Lord hath said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Lord. Bake that which ye will bake today.
Bake that which you're going to bake. Go ahead.
And seethe that ye will seethe. And that which remaineth overlay up for you to be kept unto the morning. And they laid it up till the morning, and Moses bathed. And it did not stink, neither was there any worms therein.
Go ahead.
And Moses said, Eat today.
Eat that today. Go ahead.
For today is a Sabbath unto the Lord. Today ye shall not find it in the field.
You shall not find it in the fields. Is that like that where we live now? No. You're going to find all kinds of stuff. You can buy everything from cocaine to weed to bread and Twinkies, and you're going to find it in the field. I'm just showing you this is a time period, and the Lord had to be harsh with these people. Go ahead. It's going to get easier. I wonder why. You mean to tell me God is pulling back on his word? Mercy has always been in his word. Yeah. He just didn't show you that here for this time period. To every season there is a what? A purpose. Right? Go ahead.
6 days ye shall gather it. But on the 7th day, which is the Sabbath, in it there shall be none.
It ain't going to be none. If that was the case, man, we'd be all doing like we did in the pandemic, right? Emptying the stores out. Right? But if you did what the Lord said, just got enough for the people in the house, then the stores would stay full. Right? Go ahead.
And it came to pass that there went out some of the people.
Look, go ahead.
On the 7th day for to gather, and they found none.
See, some just had to test them.
That's right.
Right? Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Moses, How long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? See, for that the Lord hath given you the Sabbath. Therefore he giveth you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in this place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day.
Now, do we do that? Look, wait a minute. But the Lord got that written. Don't go out of your place on the Sabbath. How the heck we get here then? This for a time period. They in the wilderness, all of them, the whole church. The whole church. That's why people be coming to me. Hey man, what you think about these fringes? I think they gold and they pretty on that purple. No man, man, the Lord commanded us to wear fringes. He did command you, but who was he talking to? He was talking to you hard-headed, knucklehead people that keep forgetting his law. So when you look down at the fringes, you just gave yourself away. The reason why you got fringes on, dude. That ain't some great thing. It's not. The Lord commanded. There are commandments that the Lord commanded us that are not a penalty unto death. Right. So he commanded you to do it, right? And he commanded them. But was that for everybody? He would have reached back with Abraham. Right. He would have reached back and instituted that with Isaac and Jacob. And down the line, he would have said it somewhere down the line. But you notice where he said it? See? Like the people say, hey, Abraham, they called me up on the last tabernacle. Abraham, man, you got any wood laying around? For what? Because I'm trying to build me a booth on top of my house so I can dwell in, because the Lord said that we're supposed to dwell in booths. The Lord didn't say that. He did not tell you to do that. He just told you so they will know that the Lord had Israel to dwell in booths on the tabernacle. Now you can build your booth. You can do that. But you see the type of trees you got to get?
Right. Trees.
If you want to do it right. I said, what trees you got? What you mean? I went in the backyard and I ran out. No, get the trees that he say do. Right. And who cut them up for you?
Right.
See? What verse?
Verse 30.
Go ahead.
So the people rested on the seventh day, and the house of Israel,
That was good. No, finish reading that. Go ahead.
and the house of Israel called the name thereof manna, and it was like coriander seed, white, and the taste of it was like wafers made of honey.
And they ate that for 40 years. They ate that for 40 years. They ate quail for 40 years, and they had water.
Yeah.
Remember, they had cattle out there in the wilderness with them. They didn't cut nothing up. They ate no steak, no filet mignon, no New York, no ribeyes, no porterhouses, none of that. They ate none of that. They had it right there. Why they didn't eat that? See? That was for the priests to learn how to be butchers. So when they got into the land, the Levites would know what they can have, what the people's supposed to have, and what the people's supposed to offer up when they came into the land and start doing all their sacrifices. So the Levites were butchers, expert butchers. Can tear a cow down, a goat down, a sheep down, a lamb down, like it ain't nothing. See? Let's go to Exodus chapter 12. I hope the entrance of these words are giving light. I just hope so. If you want to turn all the lights off, you can. If you want to stop all the fire from going, if you don't want to use the microwave oven, don't use it. What about the microwave oven? Can you use the microwave oven? That's a good one on a Sabbath day. To heat my coffee. Because I'm coming all the way up here to Detroit, man. Come on now. I can't use the microwave oven? You can't use the, everybody agree with that? Okay. Is it? Where? Oh, when you look up in there? Have I looked up in there? I looked up in there when you turn it on, right? On the number 4, and I looked up in there and said, man, yeah, that's got to run by, you know, some, what is it, microwaves, right?
Yeah.
But it's heat in there. But my granddaughter happened to stop by, and she's like 13 months. I don't want to turn the fire on, but my daughter dropped off all her bottles, and they ice cold. What do?
Right.
Do I sit on them? Do I put them under the cover? Do I go downstairs and put them by the open window right there on the bottom of the water tank? Or do I turn on the microwave and heat it? Or do I turn on the fire? Or do I turn on the water and let the bottle run in the cup? A lesser of the two evils, right? You gotta be thinking, right? You gotta be thinking, right? What do? You can't take the reasoning thing out of it. God wouldn't do that. No, he wouldn't. But I'm gonna show you something about that fire thing. Where we at?
Exodus 12.
Exodus 12, right? Exodus 12, pick it up at verse 16. I'm only showing you this because this is dealing with the, what did I say?
12 and 16.
12 and 16. Yeah, 12 and 16. Now these are the feast days, right? This is a Sabbath day though. But I'm showing you this so it'll overlap into the Sabbath day. Go ahead. Because, wait a minute, hold on. So do we cook on the Sabbath days as far as the feast days?
Yeah.
Huh? Do we fire up the grill?
Yeah.
All that stuff, right? Why? It's a Sabbath day, but why?
It's a feast of the Lord.
It's a feast of the Lord, but why? Yeah, but a lot of people say that without understanding. The other Sabbath days supersedes the regular Sabbath day. If the atonement fall on the Sabbath day, that's a good one. What do you do? That's a real good one, right? Do the Sabbath day trump or do the atonement trump? Atonement trumps, man. Right? Because you ain't got no business doing none. Right? But what if the tabernacle, the 8th day? 8th day, I said. Not 1 through 7, the 8th day. On the 7th day on the tabernacles, you can eat and feast and all that good stuff. But what about the 8th day, which is a solemn assembly? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yeah. Why not? Tell me. I see that look. Remember, I see everybody's face up here. Huh? Right, I know that. I know that. I know that. I know that. And that's where the Lord step in to let people keep coming up here and giving you a little more, a little more, a little more. And what is the teachings that you've been told? Out of this camp. Don't be scared, nobody's stoning you. And don't, see, that's what I'm saying. Don't wait till I leave. What do they say? You ain't giving no names. Right. Tell me what the book say. And if you don't remember, I'll help you.
The 8th day, we've always been told that's a solemn assembly only.
Right.
It just has something to do with the Father's kingdom.
It does.
After the millennium of Christ.
Exactly.
You're not supposed to partake of that eating on that 8th day. I mean, it has been taught out there out of the book that way.
It just says don't feast. An eating feast like the other 7 days. Right? Have a solemn assembly. It just says have a solemn assembly. You can go home and eat. You can eat all day long. Treat it as a Sabbath day if you got a problem, and don't do nothing that you do on a regular Sabbath day. Don't work. Sabbath day is all about preparation and how you going to honor your God. Like I tell people on unleavened bread, it's coming up. Is people going to have leaven in their house? Man, the Lord is only talking about leavened bread. No. Are you going to have leaven in your house? No, I'm not going to have leaven. Well, why are you bringing leaven up here to the church drinking it? And you know what? That's a good point. I know it is. But it's a growth process. And I said I'm not going to beat up nobody no more about the unleavened bread. Let them do it on their own. Because these are the same people that's still here in Genesis and Exodus and Leviticus all the way to Malachi.
Right.
Same people. And no, Abraham don't have no stamp of approval on his tongue, but Abraham knows some stuff. But if you ever in doubt, you take the higher road to please your God, to make sure you're not polluting it. See, don't go, we're going to read that, but I can't say it because I want to read a couple of things at the end of this. Exodus 12 and 16, go ahead.
And in the first day, there shall be an holy convocation. And in the 7th day, there shall be a holy convocation.
See, go ahead, here we go.
No manner of work shall be done in them.
Oh, no manner of work shall be done. These feast days, right? Look what it say though.
Save that which every man must eat. That only may be done of you.
Whoa. You mean to tell me I can work?
Yeah.
I can work on a Sabbath day. Only if I need to. Only if I have to feed my family. And you really got to be able to, like you just out there. Don't everybody got a job and don't even tell me that. Right? But if you must, the bill's got to be paid. This bill got to get paid. And I got to get that on this check because I get paid next week because you know the Lord knows everybody's heart. Every individual. So don't come there talking about, yeah, Lord, I know a brother, he'll fireman. Great job. Lieutenant, got promoted. Know what he do? He got a nice looking sister. They got a beautiful house. His wife want to keep putting money in the house, so he go out and get a FedEx job, and he work at the airport. So he work on a Sabbath day, and he that's just important to him. See, what you do with that? Let him keep working. Man, I'm telling you, the Lord is going to recompense. And you don't beat them up. Man, come on now. You can beat them up a little bit. Hey, man, come on, man. You can do better than that, dude. You ain't got no business working like that. And you mean to tell me you ain't got no Sabbath day off on none of your jobs? Well, yeah, I do get the Sabbath day off on my fireman job. And then what you do? You gonna get another job then where you have to work on the Sabbath? Dude, that's like kind of like backwards, don't you think? Oh, Abraham, you know, man. Hey, don't tell him, man. I ain't judging you. I'm just telling you, you're gonna die to death. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Man, you crazy, Abraham. Okay, I'm telling you, it ain't good in the fire. And then the Lord gonna give you a body that just don't be consumed. You're gonna feel the fire eternally. People can't understand that. Oh man, I can't wrap my head around that. Well, your whole body gonna be wrapped around that. I'm telling you, that is the judgment penalty.
Yes, it is.
He's gonna give the angels that's destined for the fire a body that will burn but not burn up. See? With fire and brimstone. Nobody down there playing cards and all that stuff. No, it's over with, dude. No, people, how do you make humans out of dirt? How do the bones grow in a baby in a womb? Them the things we can't figure out. Well, you can't figure out the lake of fire either. I know you can't. Everything that a man must eat, that which every man must eat, that only may be done. Now, don't sign me up for overtime.
Right.
Just enough to get back, because the Lord knows. Let's go to Ezekiel 20. Ezekiel 20. We almost through. Ezekiel 20. The Sabbath day is supposed to be an enjoyable day. Man, that brother had no business riding on the lakefront on his bike on the Sabbath day. Why not? Why not? Man, what burden is he doing? What laboring is he doing? Oh, because he pedaling. Man, he on his way to class.
Right.
The dude on his way to class.
Right.
Why are you starting up your car and coming out the house on the Sabbath day?
That's right.
Come on, man. Come on, y'all.
That's right.
This is crazy stuff. Exodus 20 and pick it up at verse 10. Exodus 20 and 10. Go ahead.
Exodus or Ezekiel?
I mean Ezekiel. My fault.
Okay.
Ezekiel 20. You know, it's about that time of the year. Ezekiel 20 and 10. Go ahead.
Wherefore I caused them to go forth out of the land of Egypt,
Now, he all the way here talking about this. Go ahead.
and brought them into the wilderness.
Now, listen. If you read all of this, to Malachi, man, you got to do that. So you can feel the impact of what these guys are talking about down here, down this way. Ezekiel and Haggai and Nahum. Hold on, let me show you these people right here. Right after the book of Daniel. Right after the book of Daniel, Hosea, Haggai, Nahum, Amos, Joel, Zephaniah, Zechariah, Malachi. Where you think they were and prophesying? They was prophesying, although they right here in the book, they all the way back here. So don't get it twisted. Just because they down here, that don't mean they down here in time.
Right.
All of these guys was in captivity back here in the days of the king. See? That's why it's so important to read all of God's word and take your time. See? Ezekiel 20, go ahead, read.
Verse 11.
Go ahead.
And I gave them my statutes, and showed them my judgments, which if a man do, he shall even live in them.
Go ahead.
Moreover also I gave them my Sabbaths, to be a sign between me and them, that they might know that I am the Lord that sanctify them.
Go ahead.
but the house of Israel rebelled against
Man,
me.
you should read this stuff. When he said they rebelled against him, these people were straight, just bonehead, stupid. The kings. Every time you look up a king and his son, he said, and he's the son of this king, but he did not do good in the eyes of the Lord. Yeah. And he did not do good in the eyes of the Lord. And he did the ways that his father did. And it just keep repeating it. We were bad people. We ain't got no business talking about the white man. Yeah. Well, I'm for real. And nobody else, people. We were bad people. But the Lord reserved, huh? Yeah. But the Lord reserved us. Yeah. He reserved us.
And we had the scriptures.
Huh?
It makes it doubly bad. We had the scriptures back then, but now we have both half the book.
That ain't got nothing to do with it.
I'm just saying.
Right.
That shows you bring your point. It's like we just straight up.
Man, listen. Say it again.
I'm tired of being blamed for somebody else.
Yeah, well, the Lord said that. He said the partridge sat on eggs, and the people and the children won't be blamed for the sins of the father. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He said no more. Right? But hey, listen. The Lord said in Proverbs, I think it's Proverbs Ecclesiastes, he said the Lord still required that which is past. Mm-hmm. So where we not getting beat to death and everything, you know, the Lord letting us have jobs in the land of our captives. Some of us doing good, some of us not, right? So you can't blame the white man for that. Every soul is an individual. You hear this word just like everybody heard it back then. And you're supposed to have more understanding. Especially in the Sabbath day. This brother, Abraham, you know, I just see him standing around and this is what he do on the Sabbath day. He don't do this, he don't do that, he don't do this, he don't do that. Man, I just come to class. Week later, he calls me. Abraham, he's in the hospital. Abraham, man, I just want to let you know, man. Man, I have not been right before the eyes of the Lord. I have not this, I have not that. I said, man, what's wrong? Man, I just want to let you know, man. I just needed somebody to talk to. I know I can call you at any time, and this and that is going on with me. And this is the guy to turn off the hot water in his house. Don't take no walks on the Sabbath day. Don't watch TV on the Sabbath day. All kind of stuff. How is it that you do all of that and something you done did wrong? Mm. But I encouraged them and exhorted them, let them know, man, you know what? I got some issues too, and I'm dealing with them. You know, hold on. Just hold on. Can you recover? Yeah, man, I got to. I know you can, dude. It ain't nothing you doing that you trading in your eternal life for, is it? Right. Well, man, whatever it is, drop it and let's go. I'll see you back here next Sabbath. Come on, man. You know. Where we at?
Verse 13.
Go ahead.
But the house of Israel rebelled against me in the wilderness. Mm-hmm. They walked not in my statutes, and they despised my judgments, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. And my Sabbaths they greatly polluted.
They greatly polluted. Greatly. Offering up all kinds of sacrifices, and you're not even a Levite. And other things, greatly polluted. There's a reason why it said greatly polluted. Yeah. You can pollute the Sabbath day, but the Lord don't have to kill you. There's some things. Listen, if you work on the Sabbath day, is that greatly polluted? No, the Lord gave you a way out to work on the Sabbath day. Did he impute it for unrighteousness? He probably marked it. And he looked down from heaven to see, man, are you trying to get off with these people on the Sabbath day? Are you trying? Don't tell me you have to keep working on the Sabbath day. You know I'm God. You know I talk to people in their ears. I send angels to talk to people in their bed chambers. Let that man off. said the Lord. An angel come and visit them and let them off on the Sabbath day. But his heart got to be right.
Right.
Well, Lord, you know I keep giving him the letter. Yeah, dude, but you asking for overtime. You signing up for it. You work 5 days. Matter of fact, you work 6 days and you off on the Sabbath, but you need to. I'm just trying to get that car, man. Come on, man. They greatly polluted the Sabbath. Go ahead.
Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness to consume them. But I wrought for my name's sake.
But the Lord didn't do it for his name's sake. Go ahead.
That it should not be polluted before the
That the
heathen.
heathens, the other nations, see and say, man, this guy ain't got no control over his people.
Right.
So the Lord pushed back on Israel to have mercy on them just in the sight of the nations. The nations don't call it. Remember, the other nations knew who Israel's God was.
That's right.
You don't think people knew that Red Sea stood up on heaps in other nations? What? The Red Sea is been divided, man. And 600,000 people is going over. What? Let me see that. Right? They heard about the Lord. When David was building the temple, they heard about the Lord. When Joshua took them in the land, all in nations, imagine all those nations around Jerusalem, heard about them, all of them Canaanite nations, Hittites, Perizzites, Girgasites, all of them, Jericho, all the way up to Babylon, they heard about it. Before the Chaldees even came in and took over. Where is Babylon today? That first Babylon. That's where modern day Iraq is now. See? Let's go to Jeremiah 17. Oh, wait a minute.
You finished?
All right, go ahead. What verse?
That was verse,
14, right?
yeah.
That was
14.
it.
I didn't finish it.
All right, go ahead. Finish.
In whose sight I brought them out.
Right. Okay, so now let's go to Exodus. No, Jeremiah 17. Jeremiah 17. Jeremiah 17. Okay, then I gotta remember this. Jeremiah 17, here we go. And 19, here we go. Okay, Jeremiah 17, and pick it up at verse 19. Go ahead.
Thus said the Lord unto me, Go and stand in the gate of the children of the people, whereby the kings of Judah come in.
Yeah, go and stand by the gate where they come in. Go ahead.
And by the which they go out.
Go ahead.
And in all the gates of Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And say unto them, Hear ye the word of the Lord, ye kings of Judah, and all Judah, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem that enter in by these gates.
Go ahead.
Thus said the Lord, Take heed to yourselves, and bear no burden on the Sabbath day.
Here's another word he's throwing in here. Don't bear a burden. Go ahead.
Nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem.
Go ahead.
Neither carry forth a burden out of your
And
house.
don't carry one out of your house. Man, I got to empty the garbage. You should have did that last night, dude. Right?
Yeah.
It's some things that you can do. Right? Where it don't be a burden to you. Man, you get all the dishes washed? Yeah, I got them washed. Right? Get everything done that you can. Remember, the Lord wants you to be refreshed. He wants you to actually rest on this day.
That's right.
Just rest. We can't rest. The world can't rest. I gotta have it. I gotta have it. It's going 50 miles an hour. No rest. No rest. And you want to know why everything break down? Go ahead.
Out of your houses on the Sabbath day, neither do ye any work, but hallow ye the Sabbath day, as I commanded your father.
Go ahead.
But they obeyed not, neither inclined their ear, but made their neck stiff, that they might not hear nor receive instruction.
Skip down to verse 27. Go ahead.
But if ye will not hearken unto me to hallow the Sabbath day, and not to bear a burden, even entering in at the gates of Jerusalem on the Sabbath day,
He don't want them coming in. He don't want them going out. Go ahead.
Then will I kindle a fire in the gates thereof.
He said, now he done stepped it up. He said, I'm going to kindle a fire in it. How is the Lord going to kindle a fire? Go ahead.
And it shall devour the palaces of Jerusalem, and it shall not be quenched.
Exodus chapter 35. Exodus 35. Exodus 35. How is the Lord going to kindle a fire on these people? I thought he said don't light a fire. Did we read that yet? Yeah. Don't light a fire? Did we read that?
No, we about to.
All right. Are we about to? Oh, wow. Okay. Exodus 35:1. Go ahead.
And Moses gathered all the congregation of the children of Israel together, and said unto them, These are the words which the Lord hath commanded, that ye should do them. 6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day there shall be to you an holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Lord. Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death.
Now, we done seen that straight throughout this lesson, but go ahead. Let's finish reading this because the Lord said this and it's connected to the Sabbath day. Go ahead.
Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations on the Sabbath day.
He said, don't kindle no fire throughout your Sabbath. What if I need some type of fire? Psalms 104. I'm going to show you something. Psalms 104. Remember, our God is God. Just show you something. Psalms 104. Pick it up at verse 1. Psalms 104 and pick it up at verse 1. Go ahead.
Bless the Lord, O my soul.
Go ahead.
O Lord my God, thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty.
See, that's when the Lord said, let there be light, and there was light. When the Lord started to move on Adam's creation and started to do it, here come the Lord. None but light. He ain't none but light. Go ahead.
Who covers thyself with light.
Look, David said, hey, the Lord covered himself with light. When the Lord comes, it can't be nothing but light. Go ahead.
As with a garment.
He said he's covered like a light as with a garment. Go ahead.
Who stretches out the heavens like a curtain.
That's what he did. Go ahead.
Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters.
Go ahead.
Who maketh the clouds his chariots. Who walketh upon the wings of the wind.
That's what the Lord did. That's what he do. Look what he say.
Who maketh his angel spirits.
He make his angel spirits.
His ministers a flame and fire.
He make his ministers a flame and fire. Wait a minute. The Lord said don't kindle on no fire on the Sabbath day. What about the people? See? How did he lead the people? In the daytime.
Yeah.
With a cloud, right? And how did he lead them at night?
Pillar of fire.
In a pillar of fire, right? Okay, let's go to Hebrews chapter 12. Hebrews 12. I'm going to show you why it's important to whatever you have to do. If you can refrain from it, don't kindle no fire. Whatever you do, prepare. The Lord do some things so you can depend on him. See. Hebrews 12, and pick it up at verse 25. Go ahead.
See that ye refuse not him that speaketh.
All right, go ahead.
For if they escape not whom refuse him that spake on earth.
Talking about Moses. It's during Moses' days. Go ahead. See if they refuse not him that speaketh. For if they escape not who refused him that spake on earth. Go ahead.
Much more shall not we escape.
He said, much more shall we not escape.
If we turn away from him that speaketh from heaven.
See? Not only did they not obey Moses, but listen, you got to at least obey this person or this being. Go ahead.
Whose voice then shook the earth. But now he hath promised, saying, Yet once more I shake not the earth only, but also heaven.
That's what we wait for now. Go ahead.
And this word, yet once more, signifying the removing of those things that are shaken, as of things that are made, that those things which cannot be shaken may remain.
And he's talking about you. He's talking about you. Go ahead.
Wherefore we receiving a kingdom which cannot be moved, let us have grace, whereby we may serve God acceptably with reverence and godly fear.
Finish it.
For our God is a consuming fire.
That's what I want to show you. How is he going to take them people out that keep entering in and leaving on the Sabbath? He said, I'll kindle a fire on you. Why? Because God is a consuming fire. And if he don't want to do it, he sent his angels who he made ministering spirits. They are flames of fire too. See? Let's go to, well, we don't have to read Deuteronomy. The Lord is a consuming fire. That's in Deuteronomy 9 and 3. Let's go to Leviticus 23. So we're going on record that we dealing with the Sabbath day with the feast days. Leviticus 23, and we're just going to read verses 3 and 4. And each one of these feast days are different. The operation, how the Lord say, observe them. See, so you got to be familiar with the operation. On the Passover, the men must be circumcised. You got to be circumcised. You cannot eat of the Passover, see, and not be circumcised. Verse 3 and 4, go ahead.
6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their season.
And what is civil work? Huh? Work you get paid for. See? That's what civil work is. Let's go to 1 Kings. 1 Kings. I'm going to show you something. Listen. The Lord is a consuming fire. You gotta kind of back off when the Lord say, don't kindle no fire on the Lord's Sabbath day. You gotta kind of back off of that. He gave you hot water, he gave you things. But I'm talking about on the weekly Sabbath. I'm not talking about for the cooking feast. You know, if you must do something where you got to use a fire where you have to turn it on, then do it at your own risk. Okay? Remember, Nadab and Abihu, them priests, when they offered up strange sacrifices on the Lord's altar, he just came down and took them out. See? Be careful. Just remember, the earth we live on, here's the earth. He said the earth is the Lord's, right? He said the heavens is the Lord's, and the earth is his footstool. This is a gigantic, let me go from the side so you'll know what this is. Right? That's what this earth is. It's just turned like this. It's a gigantic grill.
Yeah.
That's what the earth is, a gigantic grill. Right? And when you put anything on this grill, here it comes. The smoke comes up. That's how the Lord know if you offering up something that ain't got no business on that grill. Yeah. You can't put nothing on that grill that ain't supposed to be on there. Because the Lord going to smell it. See? Here it is. 1 Kings 18. Pick it up at verse 18. Now this is during the days of Elijah and Ahab. And they're going to come and they're going to fight all these prophets down. I'm just showing you this. And he's going to deal with these people. And this is another way to let you know you got to kind of be careful with fire on the Lord's Sabbath day. Because you already seen what the Lord say, he's a consuming fire. He really means that, man. We'll just pick it up, verse 18. 18, verse 17, go ahead.
And it came to pass when Ahab saw Elijah, and Ahab said unto him, Art thou he that troubleth Israel? And he answered, I have not troubled Israel.
Right, now this guy going to come to Elijah. Elijah's the prophet. Ahab is a foolish king, right? You know what I mean? This is the guy that troubled Israel. Go ahead, because he go back and forth and telling these guys, man, you ain't got no business doing this like this. But go ahead.
But thou and thy father's house, in that ye have forsaken the commandments of the Lord, and thou hast followed Baalim.
Go ahead.
Now therefore, send and gather to me all Israel unto Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal 450, and the prophets of the groves 400, which eat at Jezebel's table.
Go ahead.
So Ahab sent unto all the children of Israel, and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, How long halt ye between two opinions?
Right, because he's telling them, hey man, look, you don't want to mess with me, with my God, with this. I'm a prophet, but you got 400 prophets. Now we're going to see who's the true prophet of God. And that's how it is with us. That's how I stand on things. See? Abraham. Man, this brother keep bugging the heck out of me. Man, Abraham, man, look, man, you've been around so long, and the people need to see that, he was talking about me wearing a mask. And man, the people will follow you, man. I mean, I ain't got no disciples. Dude, I don't have no disciples. No, I'm not wearing no mask. I don't need a mask. What I need a mask for? So he come up every week and got his gloves on. He got his mask on. I ain't got nothing against the mask. And he hugs me. But if you love me like you say you do, why are you putting your COVID on me? He didn't think about that. I said, come on, give me a hug. Right? Why am I worried about COVID? You know who God is? I'm not worried about COVID. The people don't know COVID was set up. They don't know that. Because they don't know that my wife is a patent and trademark attorney. And they did that to set that up so they can get this vaccination out, so they can see. My wife been on this for like 9 months now. Because the nanoparticles that's in the vaccine going to allow them to trace everybody where they are. But you won't know that if you're not a patent and trademark attorney. And then the guy who got the vaccine thing is in the last stages of being accepted, where it's all out. So Bill Gates, he steps in, and he got a company called, I think, giveth, G-A-V-I, or something like that. And how did he become so knowledgeable about vaccines? He jumped from computer to vaccine because it's pharmaceutical.
That guy, yeah.
It's everything to deal with money. So now the people are getting the people vaccinated as fast as they can, so they can start doing the thing to the next step. Anybody ever heard of the Great Reset? Huh? The Great Reset, look it up. The Great Reset, right? See? But go ahead.
Middle of 21.
Go ahead.
If the Lord be God, follow him. But
See?
if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word.
He said, Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long halt ye between two? Can I read this?
Yeah.
All right. He said, and Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long halt ye between two opinions? If the Lord be God, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. Then said Elijah unto the people, I, even I only, remain a prophet of the Lord. But Baal's prophets are 450 men. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock of themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on the wood, and put no fire under. And I will dress the other bullock, and lay it on the wood, and put no fire under it. And he called, and call ye on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of the Lord. See, that's what I do. If you think the mask is going to save you or protect you, you are wrong. But if you think it will, then put it on. And the God that answereth by fire, let him be God. And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken. And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you one bullock for yourselves, and dress it first. For ye are many. They got to do 400. I'm just one. And call on the name of your gods. Put no fire under it. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from morning even until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered. And they leaped upon the altar which was made. That's these 400 prophets leaping on the altar, because Baal didn't give them no answer. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, cry out loud, for he is a God. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or peradventure he sleepeth and must be awakened. And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lancets, till the blood gushed out of them. And it came to pass, when midday was past, that they prophesied unto the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice nor answer, nor any that regarded. And Elijah said unto all the people, come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him, and he repaired the altar of the Lord that was broken down. And that's why I told the people, I said, okay, man, just stand by, see the Lord. That's why I asked you the last time, how many people in this congregation have died from COVID? How many? Somebody ain't got no report? How many? Oh, wow, I wonder why. I wonder why. Listen, faith looked like something. But after COVID go, don't come talking about, yeah, man, I serve the Lord. I really believe him. I got faith. He's going to hit. Stop. Just stop. You had a chance. Listen, if something going to happen worse than this, and you're going to have to step up to the plate and show your faith again. Again, I'm not talking about those that are sick, that need a mask, respiratory illness and stuff like that. See? And Elijah took 12 stones, verse 31, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Lord came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord, and he made a trench about the altar as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullocks in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, fill your barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood. And he said, do it a second time. Just wet it straight down, right? And they did it a second time, and he said, do it a third time. And they did it the third time. And the water ran around about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water. I'm showing you the power of the Most High God, see? And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art God in Israel, because we have a God in Israel. And that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. That's what I did with COVID. I'm going to keep doing it with everything that comes. See? Hear me, O Lord, hear me, that this people may know that thou art the Lord God, and that thou hast turned their back again. Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifices, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, the Lord, he is the God. The Lord, he is the God. And that's it. He is a consuming fire. Be careful on a Sabbath day to kindle a fire on the Lord's Sabbath day. If the Lord wants you to have some type of fire I'm not talking about the heater. If you cold in your houses, heat your houses.
Right. As long as it makes sense.
What are you talking about? Turn off the heat on a Sabbath day. Okay, if you can stomach, go ahead. I got the children in here. They don't understand that. Wrap them up in cover, man. You got 4 or 5 covers. Just wrap them up. All right, I will. Dada, I got a cold. You'll be all right. Call on God. Get out of here. It was a Sabbath day yesterday. Right? Do you do that? Come on, man. The Lord will let you know. Every Sabbath, every man and woman know they pull back or they what they need to work on their Sabbath day. That is, when he says it's a sign between me and them, everybody got an issue on the Sabbath day. Every individual that they need to correct. My issue might not be yours. Your issue might not be mine. It's different. The Lord made the Sabbath day like that. You know why I know that? Because everybody that sit up in his class on the Sabbath day, he talked to everybody, and everybody said, in a different thing, man, I didn't know the Lord was going to talk about that. I needed to hear that.
Right.
And I needed to hear that. Man, I needed to hear that. But they hear for whatever situation they are in. And that's what the Sabbath day is for, to serve everybody. See, let's go quickly to Isaiah. Isaiah 56. We getting ready to get to the good stuff. Isaiah 56, and we're going to go to chapter 58. And I'm going to read Isaiah 58. Because people read it wrong. None against you, Joel, but people read it wrong. Isaiah 56 and 1. Go ahead. Hold on. Let everybody get there. Isaiah 56 and 1. Isaiah 56, and then we're going to go to Isaiah 58. I wrote some things down for Isaiah 58, and this is going to hopefully clear up all them things. Because you got to been and read all of this book to this point to understand how the Lord is talking to these people at this time and what they was doing. And they read Isaiah 58 totally wrong. Isaiah 56 and 1, go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord, keep ye judgment and
judgment and justice. Go ahead.
For my salvation is near to come, and my righteousness to be revealed. Blessed is the man that doeth this, and the son of man that layeth hold on it, that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hand from doing any evil.
Wait a minute. What is polluting the Sabbath that we didn't seen so far?
Contaminating.
No, what have we actually seen that the Lord said don't do on the Sabbath?
Kindle the fire.
And what else? Word. That's all you done seen. That's all you done seen. Don't come up with nothing else. Don't come up with nothing else. It's in here.
Right.
But it's in everybody's house individually what they must and must not do. And from this day forward, it's going to start rolling in your mind on the Sabbath day. Right? And you're going to get it together. It's simple. It's just like all other commandments. Go ahead.
Neither let the son of the stranger that have joined himself to the Lord speak, saying, the Lord have utterly separated me from his people.
No, he haven't. Go ahead.
Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree.
Okay, do you understand what that means? The eunuch and a stranger. You can observe the Sabbath day and keep the Sabbath day. If you're a eunuch, you can observe the Sabbath day. That's not the following way you can't observe the Sabbath day. You just can't be a priest. Go ahead.
For thus saith the Lord unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbaths, and choose the things that please me, and take hold of my covenant. Even unto them will I give in mine house, and within my walls, a place and a name, better than the sons and of daughters.
Yes, he will.
I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off.
Go ahead.
Also the sons of the stranger that join themselves to the Lord, to serve him, and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servants, everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and taketh hold of my covenant.
Go ahead.
Even them will I bring to my holy mountain, and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar.
There's a time period that's going to happen in the seventh day. But go ahead.
For my house shall be called a house of prayer for all
For
people.
all people. Go ahead.
And the Lord God, which gathered the outcasts of Israel, saith, Yet will I gather others to him, besides those that are gathered unto him.
And you can read that in St. John chapter 10, that the Lord is going to gather everybody that's going to keep his Sabbath day and keep his commandments. Let's go to Isaiah 58. I'm going to read some things I had written down before we get to Isaiah 58. Because I wrote some stuff down. And just hold on. God acknowledged that his people appeared pious on the surface. This is what you're reading about in Isaiah 58. This ain't about no atonement, about none of that stuff. Right? They appeared pious on the surface. Remember, these people been kicked into captivity, taken into captivity, disobeyed for thousands and thousands years after the Lord and did all kind of services for them. So they're going to decide they're going to hold a fast to the Lord. They ain't going to decide. The Lord didn't decide this. So when people read these guys that be around him, they just throw Isaiah 58 all out of whack. So I had to write these things down. They made pretense, these people, Israel, made pretense that they wanted to know and follow God's will for their lives as expressed in the commandments. And they had even fasted, expecting God to do something for them. That's what you're reading about in Isaiah 58. They claimed to have afflicted themselves before God, but God had not responded. Because God usually, when you fast and everything, that's a one-on-one thing with God. When you fast and pray, something happens. When you go to God, when you fast and pray, man, something gotta be straight up out of pocket, or you can't make a decision about it. Right. So these people are gonna try to. They know God is like who He is, so they're gonna try to fake Him out. So they claimed to have afflicted themselves before God, but God had not responded. They challenged God's silence. Fasts occurred elsewhere in the scriptures, but they commanded by human rulers rather than God. Thus the people of God complain about getting no divine response from their self-initiated fast, while they failed to observe the weekly Sabbath. God responded to his people's challenge. He did not respond to their fasting because it was superficial and inauthentic. When we start reading this, you're going to see that. It led to divisions in like the Israel community, and then as well as being self-absorption. But that ain't what fasting's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about feeding the poor. Not self-indulgence. And it extended far past public expressions of mourning. After condemning the people's idea of fasting, God defined what he understood to be legitimate and effective fasting. The emphasis is on social justice. Fasting must be connected to behavior that helps the exploited find freedom. The people began by complaining that God did not respond to their fasting. Fasting seems self-denying, but God recognized that their fasting had been manipulative. God recognized true self-denial means helping others, and behavior that is other-centered rather than self-directed will be rewarded. While God's people fasted these fasts that he set up, that he didn't tell them to fast, they flouted the Sabbath observance, which was one of the central things that the Lord told them to do. To observe the Sabbath means turning away from self-absorbed behavior. Isaiah 58:1. Let me read.
Okay.
Cry aloud at 1. Cry aloud. Spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet. Show thy people their transgressions. That's what this is about. And the house of Jacob their sins. Yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways as a nation that did righteousness. That's what they act like they was doing. And forsook not the ordinance. This is what they act like they was doing. And forsook not the ordinances of their God. They asked of me ordinances of justice. They take delight in approaching to God. Now Israel took approaching, coming to God. They always came to him. But they didn't have good intentions. Wherefore, look what the Lord said. Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not. They talking to God now. Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge. Behold, look what he say. Behold, in the days of your fast, ye find pleasure, and exact all your labors. Behold, ye fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. Ye shall not fast as ye do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high. I'm not hearing it. Is it such a fast that I have chosen? A day for a man to afflict his soul? That's what it's supposed to really be about. Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Do you do that? Wilt thou call this a fast? An acceptable day of the Lord? Because that's what the people was doing back then, so they can get a response from God. So they came with wrong intentions, thinking if we fast, then the Lord will save us, he'll do something for us. Verse 6, is not this the fast that I have chosen? He's going to tell them the fast that he have chosen. To loose the bands of wickedness, that's what fasting is supposed to do. To undo the heavy burdens and to let the oppressed go free. They weren't doing that. And that ye break every yoke? Is it not to deal that bread to the hungry? That's what fasting is supposed to be about. And that thou bring the poor that are out of thy house, when thou seest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hide not thyself from thy own flesh. Then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thy health shall spring forth speedily, and thy righteousness shall go before thee. The glory of the Lord shall be thy reward. Then shalt thou call, if you do this, and the Lord shall answer. If you do it my way, thou shalt cry, and he shall say, here I am. If thou take away from the midst of thee the yoke, and putting forth of the finger, and speaking vanity, if thou draw out thy soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy light rise out of obscurity, and thy darkness be as the noonday. And the Lord shall guide thee continually, and satisfy thy soul in drought, and make thy fat thy bones, and thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water whose water fail not, if you do it my way. And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in. If thou turn away thy foot from my Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath of the light. What is the pleasure? What is turning your foot away from the Sabbath and doing that pleasure on my Sabbath day? If you turn away your pleasure from what's one of your pleasures? Working. People misconstrued this. And call the Sabbath the delight. We're going to get to what you want. The holy of the Lord honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thy own ways. He talking to these people at this time because they are hard-headed. You know how many kings they went through? He told them even don't make mention of other gods. How you going to not make mention of other gods? When we teach, don't worship Ashtaroth. don't do Christmas. Nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words. That's to these people because they were so hard-headed. But should you be dealing with any pleasure on the Sabbath day? No, not that type of pleasure. Not fleshly pleasure. And where people don't think that working is a pleasure, yeah, they counting the check. They counting the check. The Lord said don't labor. See, the people thinking pleasure. Well, man, you ain't got no business smoking that cigarette. Okay, I kind of agree with that. But that's on him. See? But I see you, the brother, at the class in Chicago using MF on the Sabbath day. Oh, Abraham, don't say that out loud, because there's some people that just don't understand. You know, we trying to convert them. And, man, shut up talking to me about that. You think this stuff going to be hid? No, not from me. I'm not your disciple. No. Y'all got that twisted. See? Then shalt thou, verse 14, delight thyself, then you will delight yourself in the Lord. He talking to these people, man. If you read all of this up to this point, you will get that, how to read this. See? But this ain't got nothing to do with the atonement. This got something to do with how they want to come up to God because they know that the Lord watch out for his people when they fasting and praying. And they're going to actually come up to the Lord and say, well, we don't hear no response from you, Lord. Right. We fasted and we didn't pray and we didn't do this. So Isaiah doubled back and told him, hey man, this is the fast you're supposed to be fast. Why are you standing in front of me? Go out and feed the poor. And clothe the naked. And do this and do that. Then you'll call the Sabbath of the light. Then the Lord will hear you and answer you. Let's go into the meat of it and get out of here. St. John chapter 7. St. John 7. St. John 7. And I know everybody didn't hear that, but we'll go over it again one day. 7 and 14. Take it from not laying with your wives. Take it from not working. And if you must work, the Lord got something for that. Verse 7 and 14, go ahead.
Now about the midst of the feast, Jesus went up into the temple and taught. And the Jews marveled, saying, how knoweth this man letters, having never learned? Jesus answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine.
Listen, they asked him, wait a minute, this cat ain't even learned. How can he come up with a letter or read a letter? Jesus said, wait a minute, I got more than a letter. I got a whole doctrine. Right. Go ahead.
But his that sent me, if any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of God or whether I speak of myself.
Go ahead.
He that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory. But he that seeketh his glory that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him.
Go ahead.
Did not Moses give you the law?
Look where he went back to. Go ahead.
And yet none of you keepeth the law.
They don't even keep the law. Go ahead.
Why go ye about to kill me?
Go ahead.
The people answered and said, thou hast a devil. Who goeth about to kill thee?
Wait a minute, you think I'm stupid? You think I don't know this? Go ahead. Am I running out of time?
No, brother.
All right, go ahead.
Jesus answered and said unto them, I have done one work, and ye all marvel.
Go ahead.
Moses therefore gave unto you circumcision, not because it is of Moses's, but of the fathers. And ye of the Sabbath day circumcise a man.
Wait a minute. They circumcise a man on the Sabbath day, right? But they about to kill Jesus for doing one work, a good work. I said work. Go ahead.
If a man on the Sabbath day receives circumcision,
right,
that the law of Moses should not be broken.
Okay.
Are ye not angry at me?
Are ye angry at me? Go ahead.
Because I have made a man every whit whole on the Sabbath day.
Wait a minute, did he work?
Yeah.
That was work. Go ahead.
Right. Judge not according to the appearance.
Don't judge according to the appearance.
But judge righteous judgment.
Go ahead. Go to Matthew 12. Matthew 12. Matthew 12. Matthew 12. All this time we talking about don't work, don't work, don't work. And here Jesus himself go to work. Let's go to work. Let's go to work, man. We gotta work. We gotta work. Let's go. It's a godly work and there's an ungodly work.
That's right.
See,
Right.
see. Verse 1. Go ahead.
At that time, Jesus went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were hungry.
They outside going through the corn patch. Oh, that's gotta be work. Right? Right? They ready to go ahead, read.
And began to pluck the ears of the corn and to eat.
What? Go ahead.
But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, Behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day.
What, walking in the corn patch or plucking the corns to eat? Which one is wrong? Go ahead.
But he said unto them, Have ye not read what David did when he was a hungered, and they that were with him, how he entered into the house of God and did eat the showbread?
Whoa, if you read all of this and came up to him, you'll see how these cats understood that, man, he ain't got no business touching the showbread.
Right.
That's for the priest. That is on the actual table that the Lord come down and stand in front of and can take if he want. Go ahead.
Which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only for the priests.
Only for the priest. Was this Jesus?
Yeah.
Can somebody please tell me what his priestly name is?
Melchizedek.
Thank you. Which is only for the priest. Who you think you're talking to?
Right.
Go ahead.
Or have ye not read in the law, how that on the Sabbath days the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath and are blameless?
Wait a minute, they profane the Sabbath even when he came. But they say they blameless. Go ahead.
But I say unto you, that in this place is one greater than the temple.
There's one greater than the temple standing right here talking to you. See? I told him how to set the temple up. I told him where to put the Ark of the Covenant. I told him to put Moses' 10 Commandments in there with his rod that bud. I told him that. It's one standing here greater than the temple, dude.
Right.
People don't get the Sabbath day. They do not. They want to make the birds of the people on the Sabbath day, just like these cats back here wanted to do. Man, you ain't got no business doing that. Man, you ain't got no business doing that.
Right.
Man, where is the delight?
That's right.
Where's the delight?
Right.
What is wrong with you?
That's right.
Go ahead.
But if ye had known what this meaneth,
If you know what that meant, that I'm greater than the temple, go ahead.
I will have mercy and not sacrifice.
I won't throw your body in the fire like you do on the sacrifice on the altar. If you understood what that means, go ahead.
Ye will not have condemned the guilty.
The guiltless. All these brothers coming around and talking about this stuff, about the Sabbath day. Yeah, you're supposed to keep the Sabbath day holy. And we know now how to keep it holy. Don't work, don't come near your wife, don't do none of that stuff that's pleasurable where you be defiled and unclean. That's all. It's really simple. Go ahead.
For the Son of Man is Lord, even of the
He
Sabbath.
is the Lord of the Sabbath. Go ahead. Let him give you an example, please. Go ahead.
And when he was departed thence, he went into their synagogue.
He went into the church. Go ahead.
And behold, there was a man which had his hand withered. And they asked him, saying, Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath days?
These people drunk. Go ahead.
That they might accuse him.
Yeah, that's what they be like. Ask Abraham, do he look at TV on the Sabbath day? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. They don't see my hand like this. They don't see my hand like this because I got a stone in my hand to stone them for accident, right? See, you're dealing with the wrong person. See? Go ahead.
And he said unto them, What man shall there be among you that shall have one sheep? And if it fall into a pit on the Sabbath day, will he not lay hold on it and lift it out?
This is the God of heaven. Go ahead.
How much much then is a man better than a sheep?
Hey, please, somebody tell me. I gotta watch the babies up. It's in my mind. I get to that point about the Sabbath day after I done been in the Word for a while. Can you let me grow, please? Don't run me away from the Word that quick.
Right.
I don't understand about the Sabbath day yet. Let me get it, and I think I'll come around. I think you will. Go ahead and do what you gotta do. That's how the Lord talk. Go ahead.
Wherefore, it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath day.
Yes.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Then says he to the man, stretch forth thy hand.
Look, I'm going to do this whether you like it or not. Go ahead.
Right.
And he stretched it forth, and it was restored whole like as the other. Then the Pharisees went out and held a council.
Yeah, they
against
went
him,
out and did their thing. Hey, y'all, come here, man. Go ahead.
how they might destroy him.
Man, these people crazy. Exodus 23. Exodus 23. Exodus 23. I'm trying to get that before you all so I can tell you to change. Let me see. All right, yeah, now this is good. Exodus 23. Look, he told him, listen, this is Jesus. In this part of the book, he's called Jehovah. In this part of the book, he's called by his father's name, Jesus. If you trace the origin of how to use the language, you'll see that it's called Esau in Latin. If you come to America, because they don't use the I like that, they use the dialect of the J. In English, it says Jesus. You just got to follow the origin. All languages are God's. Every last one. Every last, he gave you the language. Yeah, he confounded at the Tower of Babel. You talk like this. And talk to him. And they talking to each other. And they had to leave off the tower. What is this cat talking about? I don't know. So they couldn't finish the tower. Exodus 23 and 4. Go ahead.
If thou meet thine enemy's ox, or
Look what he's saying. Now this is Jesus. That's why I showed you that. This is the same Jesus that just got through having that conversation with them in Exodus that he had in Matthew. Go ahead.
if thou meet thy enemy's ox, or his ass going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him again.
That's what it is about. Go ahead.
If thou see the ass of him that hateth thee lying under his burden.
Lying under his what?
Burden.
Wait a minute, burden. Burden? Didn't the Lord say don't take no burdens in and out of the Sabbath day? A burden, yeah, this is a burden. It's going to be a burden to help your brother if the tree fall in his house on the Sabbath day and you next door and you his neighbor and you ain't going to help him get it out on the Sabbath day? Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind? The babies are in there on the Sabbath day. Well, the Lord.
Right. That's right.
That's crazy stuff. People done twisted the Sabbath day to their own thing. That's why the brother turned around and called me 2 weeks later talking about this guy to keep all the Sabbath day rules to the letter. To the letter means to the Father. If we had to keep it to the letter, like the Lord said in Paul's writing, we would all be dead and
That's
men
right.
most miserable.
That's right.
Why do you think Jesus is the propitiation? He is a defense attorney to step in for you. Don't worry about it. Do it.
That's right.
Do it.
That's the book.
Do it. And he don't impute no unrighteousness to you.
That's right. That's right.
None. None. He said, when did y'all feed me? He said, when did you feed me? Hey, when you fed my people on earth that was naked, you fed me.
That's right.
See? What verse?
Verse middle of 5.
Go ahead.
What is forbearance?
Now read it at verse 5 again.
If thou see the ass of him that hateth thee lying under his burden,
We almost do. Go ahead.
and wouldest forbear to help him, thou shalt surely help with him.
Listen, that's Jesus talking.
Ah.
Oh, that's not in red writing. This is what Moses told the people to tell them. That's what Jesus told him to tell him. This is the law from God.
Right.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not wrest the judgment of thy poor
Thou shalt not twist the judgment of the poor.
in his cause.
These are laws regarding ethics.
Right.
Go ahead.
Keep thee far from a false matter,
Listen, man, everybody be dead if you left it up into these hardcore Israelites,
That's
Hebrew
right.
Israelites.
That's right.
And when you look in their closet, they all dirty.
That's right.
Those people are dirty, I'm telling you that. Go ahead.
keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay thou not. For I will not justify the wicked.
Look, you become wicked if you stone that guy to help that man because a tree fell in his house.
That's right.
But if we was back in the day, we wouldn't even have to do all of that in the wilderness, nothing like that. But now you in these times, the same Bible days, what did the Lord? The Lord gave you the word on all levels for all times, but you
Right.
got to understand the time period you are living in.
Right.
1 Samuel, 21st verse, 21st chapter. 1 Samuel, '21. 1 Samuel 21. This hollow bread is known as the showbread. Came from the tabernacles where the 12 loaves was representing the 12 tribes of Israel, and they was exchanged out weekly. Normally only the priest ate the bread, but we're going to read here where Ahimelech was willing to share it with ordinary soldiers if they were not ceremonially unclean for sexual relations. 1 Samuel 21 verse 1. Go ahead.
Then came David to Nob, to Ahimelech, the priest. And Ahimelech was afraid at the meeting of David, and said unto him, Why art thou alone, and no man with thee? And David said unto Ahimelech the priest, The king hath commanded me a business.
See, he really lying. But he got to be deceitful with this guy because they trying to kill him. So David found out where these cats was, and his men is in the background somewhere. Go ahead.
And have said unto me, Let no man know anything of the business whereabout I send thee,
Go ahead.
and what I have commanded thee. And I have appointed my servants to such and such a
See,
place.
he didn't tell them where his servants was back there because they hungry. Go ahead.
Now therefore, what is under thine hand?
That's what David asked. Hey, what's under your hand? Go ahead.
Give me 5 loaves of bread in mine hand, or what there is present.
Because this is what Jesus was telling them in the days that Jesus said that it is not. They were saying that it's not lawful to eat the showbread. So that's why I'm coming back here to show you what Jesus had testified. When it unlawful for David to go and eat the showbread was only for the priest? Go ahead.
And the priest answered David and said, There is no common bread under my hand,
See, ain't no common bread under my hand. Go ahead.
but there is hollow bread.
See, that's holy bread only for the Levites. Go ahead.
If the young men have kept themselves at least from women.
Uh-huh.
And David answered the priest and said unto him,
Go ahead.
Of a truth, women have been kept from us about these 3 days.
Yep.
Since I came out, and the vessels of the young men are holy, and the bread is in a manner common. Yea, though it was sanctified this day in the vessel.
Go ahead.
So the priest gave him hollow bread, and there was no bread there but the showbread.
Uh-huh.
That was taken from before the Lord to put hot bread in the day when it was taken out.
He went right in
Taken
there
away.
and took it right out of the thing. Right? For only the priest. See? That was totally against the law. See? But the Lord had David wrapped up.
Yes, sir.
He had David wrapped up, man. You just can't take all these things on your own. That's why the Lord got rid of the stoners. People stoning people. Mark chapter 2. We got 2 more scriptures after this. Mark chapter 2. Mark chapter 2. And pick it up at verse 23. When you get it, go ahead.
And it came to pass that he went through the cornfields on the Sabbath day, and his disciples began as they went to pluck the ears of corn. And the Pharisees said unto him, Behold, why do they on the Sabbath day that which is not lawful? And he said unto them, Have ye not read what David did when he had need?
When he had need.
Right.
Go ahead.
And was hungry.
And was hungry. Come on, man.
He and they that were with him.
Everybody hungry. But on the Sabbath day, I can't go out and buy them nothing. Yeah, I sure will. Man, are you hungry? Answer me that. Yeah, brother, I'm hungry. Lord, have mercy. I'm going to do this.
How he went into the house of God in the days of Abiathar, the high priest, and did eat the showbread, which is not lawful to eat, but for the priests, and gave also to them which were with him. And he said unto them, The Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Therefore the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath.
Go ahead.
And he entered into the synagogue, and there was a man there And he entered again into the synagogue, and there was a man there which had a withered hand. And they watched him, whether he would heal him on the Sabbath day, that they might accuse him. And he said unto the man which had the withered hand, Stand forth. And he said unto them, Is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath day, or to do evil, to save life, or to kill?
To save life or to kill. Come on.
But they held their peace.
Yeah, they better.
And when he had looked round about on them with anger.
With anger. That's how the Lord be looking at some of these brothers and talking about what you, man, don't, man, I wouldn't, this dude, he break the Sabbath day all the time. See, I'm watching TV on the Sabbath day because you say it's pleasure. No.
Right.
No. You should see the stuff I get on the Sabbath day. I go through a thing on the Sabbath day when I'm not here. I get all my stuff that I can share with everybody. Man, the temple is getting built. They got the drawings out. I get this all on the Sabbath day. You know why? Because Edom think the Sabbath day is theirs. So I know I'm going to find it there. I know I'm going to find it every Sabbath somewhere going through that. So if I can't be there, I DVR it on the Sabbath day. And then I got all this information because the Lord said, watch. What do you do with the TV? And pray. And I pray. Go ahead. What verse?
5.
Go ahead. Go ahead. We almost through with that. Go ahead.
And when he had looked round about on them
with anger,
being grieved for the hardness of their hearts.
Listen, he grieved with anger. Imagine if this guy didn't have no control. He could have just poofed them away. He really could. This is God in the flesh. Go ahead.
He said unto the man, Stretch forth thine hand, and he stretched it out, and his hand was restored whole as the other.
Let's go to, that's it, but we're going to go one more place. Ecclesiastes. Here we go. Ecclesiastes chapter 7. All this is good. 7. And some of this was for the person that I was talking to earlier. And some of this is for us right now. Okay? Verse 1. Go ahead.
A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth.
You understand that? Well, let's make it a little clearer. Verse 8.
Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof.
You understand that? Better is the end of a thing than the beginning. Right? That man or that woman that I was married to, oh my gosh, I'm glad that's over with. Right? And this thing in this world is coming to an end. Man, better is the end of a thing than the beginning of it. Go ahead.
And the patience in spirit is better than the proud in spirit.
Remember that. Remember that. The patient in spirit is better than a proud in spirit. Next verse.
Oh, verse 8. 9. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools.
Chapter 8, verse 3. Go ahead.
Be not hasty to go out of his sight. Stand not in an evil thing, for he doeth whatsoever pleases him. Where the word of a king is, there is power.
Yes, it is.
And who may say unto him, what doest thou?
Listen, you can't tell the Lord how to change where it looked like he changed his Sabbath. No, you can't call that. The king said, I do this as I please. I got one more scripture, and I'm trying to find it. I'm gonna ask you. Hold on. I'm gonna ask you. 7 and 16, and this is it. Ecclesiastes 7 and 16. Go ahead.
Be not righteous over much.
You hear what I'm saying?
That's right.
Be not righteous over much. Go ahead.
Neither make thyself over wise.
Don't make yourself over wise. Go ahead.
Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?
He said destroy thyself. Go ahead. Last one. Go ahead.
Be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time?
And that's it. I hope you all get something out of this. And the entrance of his words giveth understanding.
Amen.
May God have mercy on us. In Jesus' name.
Brother, amen.
Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in earth
Thy will be done in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread,
Give us this day our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts,
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
In Jesus' holy and blessed name we pray.
In Jesus' holy and blessed name we pray.
Amen.
Amen. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord God of Israel.
Praise the Lord God of Israel.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.